5, we're gonna call this Adams County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Sheriff, can you give us an invocation, please?
Yes. Everybody here. Father, we thank you for this day and thank you for allowing us to see here, see this day on today. Thank you for allowing us to conduct your business. We pray that we do it with integrity, moral and character, as we do what's best for Adams County and do it in a way that honors you. As we go throughout the day, let our hearts and minds be satisfied as we talk and hear and receive everything that's about to happen in here, and let us all just have what's best for this community at heart as we do it. In Jesus' name we pray.
All right, we've got some young ladies that are gonna help us with the pledge of allegiance.
Let's come this way, back.
Go right there in the middle.
Right there here. Come on.
Yeah. Keep
All
going.
right, man. Right there.
They're gonna lead us in the pledge of allegiance. Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have certificates?
Yeah, they're right here.
Okay. Come back, ladies. I'm sorry. I gotta be signed. Do we give it to the one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, these don't.
Yes, sir.
What grade are y'all in?
Did your mother leave?
She said, God, I was gonna take pictures for her. I don't know.
Okay.
We have a friend coming. He broke with his mom. So she's out there waiting for him.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and sign this. You want to do this?
Right here. Let's do it.
Okay, when they get here.
There we go. Sorry, last one.
Okay.
Take some pictures. They
We're
did it
gonna
already.
redo the pledge of
They're gonna do it
allegiance for
again.
everybody, okay? So y'all turn the flag. Y'all ready?
Okay.
I pledge allegiance
The United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all hold still. When you're ready.
Make it stand in front of it.
Okay. Y'all wanna stand up here so they get some pictures and turn around?
Yeah, turn around, guys. Out of turn. Back up. Back up next to Philip.
Mr. Philip Hammond, you hold that out where everybody can see it. All right. Vivian Bass. And Miss Abigail Powell.
Okay.
All right, now smile.
Good job.
Look right here too.
Okay.
Here we go.
Y'all ready?
Good job. That's excellent. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Sure.
Thank you, man.
Let me take you through two.
Thank you. He's gonna take y'all for a tour.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes for September of 2024.
Kind of move it here.
Moved by Ms. Hutchins, second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the dockets. Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion approved. I need a motion to approve the monthly financial reports for the Adams County Sheriff, the Chancery Clerk, and the purchasing report. Moved by Mr. Gaines, seconded by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries. Okay, it's not on the agenda, but Judge Walt Brown needs to step up, I guess, at the podium, and they've got something for him.
I appreciate y'all taking this out of order today. It was special.
Yes, sir.
I do need to get to court. I thank you for that. The reason that Mary Kay and I are here today is we're here today on behalf of the Adams County Youth Court Intervention Courts. The family drug court that we have, which is a court that has participants, parents who have lost their children through the CPS process momentarily. We work to reunify them with their children. Many times that involves substance abuse and alcoholism and things of that nature. So they work through our program just like they do over at the adult drug court. And any given time, we've got 10 to 15 families in those drug courts. And we have a grant from the state of Mississippi through the public.
It's all run by grants, actually.
It's all run by grants thus far. And we also have a youth drug court program. Children that have been adjudicated delinquent who are tested positive for illegal drugs, they're required to go through our drug court program as well. The reason I'm addressing that today here with you is that we understand that recently the big opioid settlement between the pharmaceutical companies have resulted in each county and each city in Mississippi, not all counties, but I think most all counties, probably. I know Adams County got some money. There was an article in the paper recently about the 40 parish getting their share. And you all are going to be asked to take that money and hopefully direct it towards those kind of programs. I think that's what you have to do with it. I just want to let y'all know that the youth drug court program, the family drug court program, and the CASA program that you all fund as well would be excellent places for some of that money. Like I said, everything is grant funded, but there are some things that we run into from time to time that we need extra funds for, like treatment. We may get a parent, they get a child that needs to go somewhere, and they're required to have a psychological evaluation. Those are $500 to $600. We've raised some money through our youth and family coalition, the Trucks on the Bluff event that y'all helped us with as well, to pay for some of that, but it runs low each and every time. Travel expenses for our CASA director, she has to travel to see children in their foster care as far as North Mississippi, down on the coast from time to time. Some of that's in her budget as well, but it generally runs short, and she has to do those visits by Zoom and other means. So we just want to be put on the list. I know you all are going to have some tough decisions. You're going to have other folks coming for you that believe their programs are appropriate, and I'm sure they all are. But we'd like for y'all to consider our youth drug court, family drug court, and CASA programs as a recipient of some of those funds.
okay.
Have y'all gotten a notice about that? I'm sure y'all have.
Well, I've read what you've read in the paper. Scott, have we got any notices or Brandy?
Yes.
About, do we know what the amount is?
It's
It's over
been,
$300,000, but
it's been coming in incrementally, but we
Yeah.
can actually just send an email to bookkeeping asking them if they have a tap
Until the money hits your register.
Yeah. And are there limits on what can be done with the money? Okay.
yeah,
273.
273 is the allotment for Adams County. I think the city's getting 35,000, so I think it's 3,000. We're about 300,000. We're going to be addressing the city as well. They got a much smaller
That was my next question.
as well, so we want to see them at their next
Tomorrow.
meeting
What,
and make a pitch as well. But like I said, we just like to be considered as a possible recipient for those. I promise you they'll be used for those purposes only. These aren't going towards salaries or anything of that nature. That's all set already by the state. This is just extra funding from time to time, and we'll account for it any way that we're required to do. And Mary Kay,
I'm sure we'll be discussing it and figuring out exactly where we're gonna put what money, but yeah,
and I'm not sure what the parameters.
we're not gonna forget you because, what y'all do is so important to this community, you know, I mean, I don't know how you do what you do. It saddens me to think what you're seeing every day that we don't know about. Sometimes I hear about some of the stories, but I don't hear a lot of them, and thank y'all for doing what you do.
We thank y'all, appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Judge.
taking me first.
Mary Kay, all right.
I'll wait to do mine in a minute.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Brandy, separately, is that money going into a separate account?
Okay.
Not right now, it's not. I just actually asked Chucky and them if how they were coding it, and consistent with posting and computer.
Is that going in the general fund?
Right now, yes, sir.
It's not really restricted. There, it says it should go to opioids and stuff like that, or any other county thing. One of the things I thought about we could probably do with it, you know, we run negative cash balances, all those intervention programs. We could probably use that to have a month's, you know, amount in those funds and keep it from having to go away. And that'll help us out at the end of the year.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea for us to make sure that that money ends up in a couple of those accounts, so we don't run negative balances. Do we need to stipulate which accounts, or can y'all figure out what accounts they need to go to? And
Yeah, shoot.
let's go ahead.
We would know which ones it was, you know, it's just this.
But the only reason I'm asking the question is if we, get 273,000 is going into the general fund, then we really don't know where we spending the money at. I'm just saying if we're gonna have people coming in here asking for money, at least we should have a balance or whatever the case may be on the money that we got coming in. But I know it was going in the general fund, so, back to the question from the payments that we gonna receive in the near future, do we think we need to separate those payments from the general fund? I'm just asking a question.
I just asked bookkeeping, they did respond and said they are coding them to 044, which is national opioid. It's a line, it's a.
Okay.
So they get line for
Yes.
it.
Okay. Most of the stuff that he mentioned, we pick up the tab on anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'd be good to have that money in there, but I hate to see all these negative balances.
Yeah, they're tremendous programs, but they're not, in a lot of ways, they're grant funded, but the county also has to match things, especially your adult detention or your youth court. Your detention programs are great, they keep people out of prison, they get them off drugs or get them to stay at home, all those things. But the more you have them in the program, that's more time that they'll be punished, more likely to go to jail, go to the detention center, and on top of that, we have the front money until we're reimbursed. And that does matter when it comes to your cash balances. That's something Debbie has to go through and figure out where that money's gonna come to make it ends meet until that money comes back. Not
Okay,
something-
as long as we have some idea, you know, it's not just going in the general fund or never to be seen again. Okay, down to special presentations, if any. We got any special presentations? All right, county business, Benji Mayor with the Mayor Life. Benji here. All right, Shakia Miller, Natchez Adams County Aquatic Center. All right, I see one of this here, Joseph Furr with, sustainability report, Chester Willis Field.
Yes, sir, appreciate it. Joseph Furr, landscape architect for the renovations to Chester Willis Field. I'm here this morning. We have completed, or we are now substantially complete with the lighting contract. If you recall, we had a contractor that was installing Musco lighting for the sports lighting, as well as a change order that we added later in the project. It was to add some of the infrastructure that would be needed for the locker rooms and the restrooms, as well as lights under the bleachers, some safety lighting out front, and just some general electrical improvements. That change order came too late. There was some long lead time on some of the items that put us past the start of baseball season. So we delayed the installation of that until now. Contractor asked for an inspection, which our electrical engineers did last week, and came up with a small punch list valued at about $10,050, which is within the retainage. So I am recommending acceptance of the project as substantially complete as of last Thursday. I have the substantial completion forms that need to be signed by both the contractor and the chairman of the board. once the board's approved it, I will disseminate those to the proper people for signatures, and then the project will be substantially complete. Just a little bit of the total contract, the original contract for the installation of the lights. The sports lights was $219,800. This change order was for $85,400. So the total project cost with the contractor was $305,200. When we make a payment of pay application number 4, which I have approved, we'll have a balance in the on the project of $83,046.64, which is more than the required retainage. I spoke with the contractor this morning, and he said rather than doing an invoice for substantial completion, he's going to go ahead and complete the punch list because it should be pretty quick, and then we'll do one final acceptance of the project once that's complete, and then we'll approve their final invoice for payment, and then the project will be turned officially accepted. So I would just make that recommendation, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions from the board?
Mr. President, did anybody from the county go out to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be? Because I know the last time we came in and with the completion of the field, it's still some work need to be done on that field, and we signed off on everything. So my question is, if anybody from the county checked to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be?
I know someone was invited, and they were coordinating opening up. I was not able to come to this particular walkthrough. It was all electrical, so I had my electrical engineer come. So I don't know if Johnny came. I know they made arrangements to open it. A couple of the items on the punch list are getting with the county to make sure they know how to operate everything and make sure that everything is okay. So that before final completion, we certainly can make that happen if there was nobody there, for that meeting. But typically, the owner is not necessarily present at a substantial completion walkthrough. They are sometimes they're not. So, but certainly on the final walkthrough, when we meet the punch list, we check all the punch lists off, and we have the operations manual. We'll just need to designate who needs to be there to receive it for the county.
Yes.
You said the original start of the project was $219,800?
That was the original installation cost for the lighting. If you remember, we purchased the lighting directly from Musco, and then we had an installation bid of the $219,000, and then you guys approved this $85,400 change order back in January, I believe, of this year, January or February, and that was to add additional things to the project in order to do things to get ready for the locker rooms and restrooms, as well as to put some more safety lighting that was not part of the Musco project. But you guys voted on that back in January, February.
Okay, so today you're asking for $10,000? Is what you're asking?
No, the current pay application that I've approved, I think is for $14,677.64, and there'll be a balance on their contract once that's paid of $83,046. And we're not asking for that until they submit another pay application, which will likely be after they're 100% complete and the punch list is all. So you've got $83,000 in your account that hasn't been paid that you will owe them, but we're withholding that to make sure that they complete the punch list.
Okay, anybody else? Scott, you got any thing to add? The money's in place, we don't have any problem with that part of it. Stephanie? All right, it's a pleasure. Anybody else? Do we need a motion to, me to sign document?
Approve the application, and then it goes to the docket.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the request of Mr. Fur. Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
I have one more item, if you would please. We also had a contract for Smith Painting here in Adams County to paint the stadium. If you recall, they painted the stadium right before the start of the season, and there were some punch list items that we did not feel were complete, and we asked them to go back, and we had retained $1,645 on their contract for them to do that. That work has been completed for quite some time now. I'm just now submitting this application for payment. Haven't been back up here, and it's kind of been sitting in my email for a while, so I apologize for the delay, but this work has been completed. I've seen it, I've checked it to be sure that this is his final pay application. This was just did not have the same project administration contracts that the other contracts had, so we didn't do a substantial completion, but this would just pay him in full for the work that he's been done. So that pay application is for $1,645, which would close out his contract.
Okay, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for me? That's all I have.
Thank you.
All right,
Just
thank you.
making sure you're going to see Miss West.
I'm going to see Miss West as soon as we walk out of here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Smith.
Okay, city government business, if any city government business. Mr. Ronalds, what, can we do for you today?
I'm here concerning good morning, board, I'm sorry. I'm here for the Morgantown Road project. We gave the supervisors an estimate of $27,600 to make the line safe from the Methodist Church to Red Loop Road. We also, they asked us to relocate 2 poles, and we estimate that cost to be $12,000. That's an estimated cost. We haven't run the actuals on that. We didn't have time for this meeting. But you're looking at a cost of $39,600 for Entry to do that work. Now, Scott and I talked about some of the communication he's going to send me today. So we want to make sure those customers are aware that those trees we're about to cut, we've had to battle these customers for years. They don't want those trees trimmed very much. Now we're about to cut them down. So we just want to make sure those customers are fully aware of what they're getting into.
Are these on our acquired right of ways?
So that's the question that I asked Tim about. If the poles are outside of our right of way, then the county needs to pay to have them moved. If it's within the county right of way, typically the utility company moves them because they're using our right of way. Tim was under the impression that they're outside of the current right of way. And so what we're gonna do is look at that, and if it's the case that they are outside, then we need to pay it. If they're inside, I'm gonna talk to Tim and we'll try to work through it and go from there.
It's kind of hard to tell, there's states here and there, but if you find something that shows they're in the right of way, of course we'll address that.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime.
And so what I did a draft letter. The email bounced back because of the size. I'm making a jump drive of everything, so you see. I've got a draft letter. I didn't have who's to sign the letter. I thought the board could direct me, whether it's me, whether it's Robbie or whoever. And we're gonna give notice to the people whose trees that we're gonna cut. That's what Energy wants us to do, is tell them that this project's happening, and we're unfortunately having to cut some of those trees. So y'all need to, who do y'all think we want to send the letter to? Could be me or Robbie or something like that.
Maybe both.
Me and Robbie. Okay.
Yeah, and
spread the
yeah, the joy. And Cause if you don't do that, and even if you do, I imagine the sheriff's gonna get called at some point,
We can have the
about
sheriff,
that.
That's right.
Flint the sheriff.
Because, I mean, people are funny about your yards.
Sure, and we hate cutting down, everyone hates cutting down any type of trees, so it's just necessary, unfortunately.
For this project to move on, certainly.
Clarification
Okay.
on the poles. So we need to get the engineers to go out and survey it and stake those poles. All right, what about guide wires to those poles? What about bells south to those poles?
There was one pole, he said was ours, the other one looked like it was telephone. The engineer contacted the telephone and said, no, it's ours.
Okay.
So we're just making that assumption based on what they're telling us.
Okay.
So that's why I said the estimated cost was $12,000. We'll have to move those poles back, 45 class 3 poles. And then the guys would have to be adjusted as well.
So the guys are gonna be moved back off the right of way.
They'd have to, but it's gonna be out of the right of way anyway, because this is a good bit off
What
the
I'm
road.
saying, but for sure the guys will be off.
Yes,
Don't
and
know
the
about
poles
the
too,
pole.
probably.
Okay.
And
So we need to get with the engineer and make sure they survey
Yeah,
those two
if
sections.
y'all show me something where we're in the right of way, then we'll be back out there and talk about it. There's also a magnolia tree out there that came up in question, and they were saying that wasn't included in this estimate. And then we told the supervisors that we would trim the edge of that tree at no cost. But somebody said they need a tree trimmed all the way back to the trunk. That's gonna probably kill that tree. If you trim that much, normally they don't live through it. So there would be additional $1,000 for that if you want that done. So
I think your guy and Tommy Smith said if you prune more than 30% of the tree's
there's
probably.
a good chance it would. It's not a given, but
What
it's
I'm
a good
saying,
chance it would.
what both of those were saying.
That's
while
right.
we were out there.
Mr. Gaines.
Yeah, and I mean, we had a lengthy conversation, and I told them to talk to them. I think it's something that, we definitely not gonna stop Morgantown Road progress. But I think in the future, that's something that we need to sit down and have a discussion, as a county, and not just Adams County. I think probably a few other counties, because we allow, like right-of-ways and stuff like that, and if they're in a different area, then it's like a charge for something that, I know they prune trees, how many, y'all do an area every so many,
We try to
every
do
year.
at least every 5 years.
So
We
every
don't-
5
we
years,
don't route.
they approve them, and we'll, supply right-of-way for them, and then if they're not, and it's not from him, I'm talking about up the ladder, what we need to see. So if we need them to prune them within 5 years, and they not there, and what they do for free for keeping the right-of-way, now we end up having to pay 40-something thousand, and we don't need to do it. And I think that's something that we'll have to go back. I don't know what kind of agreement that the county had with Entergy or Southwest, but I think it's something need to be looked at cause that leave us very much unprotected for something that we get right away to trim that we end up having to pay for when we in need to get it done. So I just wanted to bring that to the board, and we think about it, and, but I'm glad when we're working together, cause we really need Morgantown Road projects. I'm more looking out for, to do what's right for the citizens instead of trying to fight and stop the project, and that's the main thing. But, I did want to bring that to the board and make the board aware of it.
I did want to mention, go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, if this would have fell in the time when we all started together, if it right on the number. But, go ahead, Mr. Ron.
What they were talking about is keeping the right of way, we have 30 feet, completely clean. We try not to do that because customers do have trees that were planted by their grandfather in some cases, and everything else you can imagine. Then we try to trim them back and work with them. If you come up with something like that, then every crepe myrtle and Natchez, Mississippi had to be cut. Because they're right up on the power line. And we have to deal with that every year. So be careful about passing something like that because it could affect more than just those rural right-of-ways.
Yeah, I know, I understand this. It's something, that's why I say it's something to be looked at, so I'm trying to work together, but in the same sense, I wanna work together, but it's almost like a double-edged sword, something that should be done, and we'll give right away to be done, but then we turn around and have to pay for what should be done anyway. That's just a concern. So I do understand you got people involved, and we got trees like that. I understand, because Had one of my mother, y'all, one of my grandfathers planted a live oak that's been there, so I do understand, but I think it's something that we need to look at, as a whole, that, we can come together on, like these pricing. You know, we have cost the devil, for Morgantown Road to get this project started. It's been 22 years and we've been scraping the barrel and saving money, and now it's unexpected. We bid the contract out. Now this is an unexpected 24 and almost 50-something thousand that we really, you know, just didn't really have because we don't know what's gonna be expected. And I just think we wanna address it further down the road. I'm not trying to point the finger at anybody because I do want the project done, but I think what's fair for the county and fair for energy also that we two major entities and we should be able to come up with something to y'all can live with and we can live with also. Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
at the end of the day, it's just my opinion, utilities need to be addressed at the beginning and not the end. And the major projects we have done, the utilities are usually addressed at the beginning of the project, not at the end of the project. Is that not right, Rob?
That's correct.
So, we addressing a lot of, energy, Adams County water, and maybe the natural water work at the end of a project when it should have been addressed at the beginning of the project.
Okay, well, is this falling under, incidentals or miscellaneous, in that category? Okay, and we need a motion to approve Entergy's request for this money to, trim all those trees.
So we gotta, so I think it's through the city. Huh? They need to negotiate
Let's
before
get
we-
the right price, let's start stake it off and see how much it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Unless you wanna approve it.
Well, I thought we could go ahead and approve and get it started, and
Yeah.
if we find out that there's something different, I mean, it's not like these are a fly-by-night company here, they're gonna do the right thing. So I'd rather go ahead and approve it.
Yeah, you should approve it pending
Pending.
the research on the right of way.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve it, after review of the right of way and the pole and stuff on that, so not for the exact amount, but then we'll leave it open, if something we have to do, that we can do it, so I'll make a motion pending the meeting on the right of way.
Okay, motion by Mr. Gaines, a second by Mr. Gray. Any more discussion? Yes, sir.
One question. I know y'all talking about Morgantown Road with trees in it, right?
Yeah,
Are y'all, does that include this tree right here in the courthouse that putting all this pressure on these lines?
No, is that been addressed to you? That's completely separate from our.
That was told to
Go ahead.
All right,
But we should-
yeah, any more discussion about it?
Yes.
So the contract is between the city and the,
yeah, I've been saying,
so it needs to go, I was telling Robbie to send this over to the city for their approval.
because,
Because they could
yeah,
actually pay, the incidentals under their contract where this would come out of, so they need to be aware. We pay our portion of what needs to get.
yeah, you're right, and that's what I want to make sure.
Yeah.
So he came
So
from
if
the
there's
county
gonna be
board,
a-
but it's actually the city's gonna be doing the payment.
Yeah.
So he gonna have to go, or we'll send it to the city or whatever.
Yeah,
So we need to approve it through our board and then send it to
we'll
them.
approve it and send it to the city.
All right.
Tell them, explain to them.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ron.
I can get you an invoice this week, but I need to look for the city or the county.
Do it to the city.
City.
Okay.
But I'll make sure what you sent to them, I'm gonna send it over to the city. I'll send it over to James and explain it everything.
Okay, I'll give it a
And
Rob.
I'm gonna try to get them to get it staked this week too, if they
Okay.
can.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Mr. President.
Yes.
What
Jumper.
me and Supervisor Gaines was discussing,
I shared it.
and Robbie and Scott was discussing out there, we allow, Adams County Water, Energy, Natural Water Work, and all those, entities to use our right of way for free. So we was thinking, should we, even take this to the, state level and find out, can we charge for them to put their utilities in our right of way? if it's gonna come up, we end up having to pay some money at the end. This something like the assessed value, they do 1/4 of the county. They could've did the part over there with Morgantown, but they choose not to do it because they say the citizens out there didn't want them to do it. Now it's falling on us. I don't think I'm saying, as a board that set policies, we gotta check on the state level with the other supervisors association to find out, is it in our best interest to try to charge a fee for them to put their, wires or whatever, poles or whatever on our right of way.
Yeah, this is a kind of complex problem here, but now the city will have to deal with their part of it too, and I imagine Mayor Dan will be going to the top levels arguing about that.
He'll make it
$10.
happen.
Well, but when we talk to Tim, if they turn out that they're in a right of way, then they understand that's their remediation. If it's outside a right of way, we don't own it, and so we have to do it then. So I think we're on the same page, it's just a dispute.
Or
as to who's-
poles wise, but pruning trees, we're not on the same page.
Right.
Okay. All right, I see that, Sharika Miller is here. We called earlier, but you weren't here. You come address us.
Yes, good morning. So I came to give an update on the repairs at the pool. We have gotten Ewing out, they came on the 9th, on the 18th and the 30th to repair the pump, the our system and everything, so everything is fixed now. I also wanted to ask about draining the pool and getting it like clean and pressure wash, since it's been sitting up since like July. And it's like green inside and everything. And I did call Big Spurs, they got a community pool as well. And that's usually what they do, keep it clean and everything. But they did say that the water bill will be real high.
They don't allow us a one-time draining fee every year like they do, homeowners?
This will be my first time doing it, so.
You talking about the city of Natchez?
But Ewing, did say that they would be able to drain it, clean it and everything for me if I get it approved.
How long's the pool been there?
Since like July 19th.
So we missed half the summer then, huh?
Did they give a cost?
Now it's on, they didn't do it. Cause I told them I was teaching on the cost.
Well, draining the pool, y'all can do that, all you gotta do is reverse
Yeah,
the pump.
that's what I was saying, they direct
And there's no sense in them, us paying for them to drain the pool. We have our own pump.
But the pump and everything is fixed now.
We're probably gonna need to get a couple of quotes, not just from Big Spur, but some other pool, Superior Pool maybe, and just a
To
couple,
drain it, right.
just to get us some idea, and we're all in the same ballpark.
Mr. President, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm kinda like you, when it comes to draining the pool. I mean, how hard is it? You got a pool, right?
Yeah, you just reverse.
open the valve.
You just-
Okay,
you
well,
put it on waste. and-
That's the way they used to do it at St. V. Thompson Pool. You open the valves and the water go out the pool.
Somebody has to watch it, because you can't
Right.
let it run dry, and let the pump run dry. If it run dry, you have another problem.
That's why I feel like Ralph can do it.
Ralph, yeah.
Yeah. the-
Certainly.
So we can get with Ralph to find out, can he do that?
And all they need to do is pressure wash the pool?
Yeah, pressure wash and clean it, like, the brushes and everything. So I'm pretty sure they can.
Sheriff, we got a pressure washer?
County do. The maintenance guy do. It's gonna have one. I tried to get it out of them yesterday. I ain't got right.
I got one too.
You got one.
We probably need to get the pool drained and then figure out if we can do it, because if you can bring in a bill for $5,000 or $6,000 for pressure washing the pool, it's,
It's gonna be expensive to fill that bill.
but that's gonna be the most expensive part. You would think that, the water company would give us a little bit of a
Me
break.
personally, I think we can drain it and get some help. between Johnny and the sheriff department and get some help with some help from y'all over there, and maybe we can pressure wash it like that. Shouldn't be that hard to do.
They just need to be careful who's getting in the pool and with what they're wearing, for footwear. You don't want someone jumping in there with spikes on.
Department and see what safety precautions need to be taken if somebody who don't do that get in here and do that. Just stop.
Well,
I mean,
it sounds like we gotta have some more, but at least get a couple estimates.
It's
So we'll have
just like
something to go
washing
by.
down the house, washing down the pool. You got certain stuff you spray on the wall, and then you come back and use your power pressure and you spray it off.
Usually it's Clorox, and you might have to go with muriatic acid at some point, depends on how bad it is.
So-
All right,
So you guys can get some quotes on draining the pool?
not draining it, just cleaning it afterwards.
Cleaning it.
Mr. President, get with Mr. Daniels and find out, can he drain the pool, or do he know how to drain the pool? If he don't, then we'll.
Because I've already spoke to him about it, and he didn't say that he would be able to. I just told him he was gonna wait so I can get the pool first.
Okay, there's 2 or 3 pool companies around here, and you can get one from
Okay.
the company in Superior and the one in Vicksburg, fine.
But also see if Mr. Davis can do it.
Okay.
Right, then, yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. All right, departmental reports. Mr. Bell.
Good morning. And that with the 911 dispatch. I want to give you a list of calls from February 1st, September 1st to 30th. Adams County SO had 411, Natchez PD had 1,195, Natchez Fire Department had 12. Also, I'm requesting travel for one of my employees for orientation to Canton. It's gonna be November the 18th through the 19th. Casey Dillon.
Well, not in the travel. It doesn't mean it's not in here.
That's the one I gave.
Okay. I knew those all the front. They start getting mixed up in here when somebody hands me something. Okay, Casey Wheeler Goodman,
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
November the 18th through the 19th.
$287.92, travel to Canton. Is that the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one.
All right, I need a motion.
So,
Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
Also, I have 2 pay rate change from 12 to 12.60 on 2 people that's certified. Just a Severia, and a Sarah Joy.
Julissa Silverio and Sarah Jordan from $12 to $12.60 on both of them, $26,208. We'll do them both together. I need a
So move.
Second.
thank you. Mr. Gray, seconded by Ms. Hutchins. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Board.
Hello.
Rick Cook, Adams County MA. I'm asking for, request for travel for myself, Rick Cook, Darren Smith, Robert Bradford, and Billy Humphries to attend the May 2024 Midwinter Conference in Biloxi, Mississippi, November the 19th through the 21st.
No.
Second. 19th through the 21st?
I can make sure I find all those names in here. Good list of them. Yeah, I said Annie was, I don't know if she heard
Great. I'll be added to that one also. That's the one that I always attend.
Yes,
Are you gonna make the accommodations?
well, also, Ms. Angela Hudson will be added to the she's now making him.
Did y'all see it?
And you got those up here?
No, I
You turned them
haven't.
in?
No, I
Oh, you have them with you?
Yeah.
Well, I was never gonna find that.
Right.
Okay. Who made the motion? Ricky? Okay.
Second.
Motion by Ricky, second by Ms. Hutchins. Yeah, I need that
Okay.
paperwork so I can sign.
Okay.
All in favor?
Well, that's all.
Any
I need.
nays? Motion carried. I'm supposed to bring that up here so I can.
Okay.
Good morning, Board President, Mr. Wilson, and Board Supervisor. My name is Larry Hughes, Adams County Tax Assessor. I just want to add some things to the minutes on the certification from the Department of Revenue. Last time I was here in August, we had a chance this evening. Talk about the revenue, the Department of Revenue receiving from the tax assessor calculator recap for the real and personal property, on the above name in 2024. To the best of our knowledge, everything went through and we're doing good. So that was the best part about it. So what I'm gonna add to the minutes, Department of Revenue here in Virginia certified that Adams County has complied with the criteria set forth in section 2739329. This certification authorizes the county to expand the availability of a levy of $1 million in 2024 on the tax roll. It also was ordered by the Department of Revenue to, we find the Department of Revenue order will be inspected, respect to your real and personal assessment on 2024. But all this day is saying that we just want to add that to the minutes of what we talked about, even on the real personal property and the salary of the tax assessor.
What was that code again, Mr. Hughes? 27 dash?
20, just a minute. 27, 39, 3292 B, Mississippi Code. Certification authorized the county to expand the value of $1 million levy collection for 2024 roll year in the previous year of the above code selection.
Need a motion to record it?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gray, second by Mr. Gaines. Any more discussion or any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
Morning, Board. I have a few things I put in your folder. First thing I have is travel for Terrence Hunter.
I saw yours somewhere. Just so many this time. How many people do you have?
Just one for travel.
You'll have to.
Where did you put it?
I gave it to Corvette. Put it on your phone.
Do you have anything else?
Yes.
Go ahead with that.
I also have, 2 contracts. The first one is for Martin Kemp, to be in your folder as well.
And what's the contract for?
Martin Kemp, he does our drug testing. He has a contract employee.
I don't think
I saw that. I did
You
see
did
that.
see that one? Okay. They're just, these things were really chopped up today.
Yeah, tabs on.
Yes, but they're not in the tabs. That is all in the right spot.
There's the Martin Kemp right there.
All right, got Martin Kemp.
Okay.
Subcontracting agreement,
Yeah. It's just as we started over since October 1, started over for the.
$25 an hour. And this is just a yearly thing
Yeah,
on this? Okay, I need a motion to sign the subcontracting agreement for, Martin Kemp.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines.
Second.
Second by Ms. Sheet out here, Gray. Any discussion?
Does this MOU need to be?
Yes, that's
as
next.
well? Next?
That's
Okay.
next.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries.
Wasn't it, I handed it to her in your hands, with the rest of that report.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
next is a MOU for Helping Hands. They do our treatment for both our youth drug court and our family drug court program. And this is just a annual one that we always do, but there is money involved. We pay them for their service under a contract through grant money.
Okay.
Have you ever asked about the new mental health, whether they could provide services?
Do what now?
Have you asked about the new mental health group, whether they could provide services?
You talking about River Bridge? Yeah, we have stuff with River Bridge for the AOP program coming up, and things like that, but, Helping Hands also contracts with, adult drug court and mental health drug court.
You need a motion?
They just need a signed contract.
Okay. You'll need a motion for me to sign.
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gray, second by Ms. Hutchins.
This game.
Oh, you,
Okay, you know.
tie, okay.
That's for Terrence.
Terrence Hunter,
Any
did you
discussion?
find it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Do you have anything else for
The
you?
travel, she found it, that's for
Okay.
Terrence Hunter to go to the, One Loud Voice conference.
Okay.
So moved.
Did you say Terrence Hunter originally?
Yes.
Sound like you said something else, like Hollis or something.
I have a Hollis on,
Um,
but
okay. Motion by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? No. Any nays?
one more thing. So, it was 2 weeks ago, I got approached about the Mississippi Public Health Institute grant for Mississippi Overdose Data Action in State Subgrants. Federal funds to run from October to August 31st of 25. I had to apply by October 1st. I did, and I requested, it was up to the amount of $50,000, and it is to be used to spread news, tell people about the opioid overdose pandemic and whatnot. And this grant, if we receive it, which is supposed to be awarded any day now because it was supposed to start already, will bring a new position for a peer support specialist. But we'll have to advertise and hire somebody for that still. But what my request is if I get this, because we won't meet again for 2 more weeks, once I get this approval, can I have permission to get a new fund number awarded for this? If it is awarded before the next board meeting.
Okay.
It's administrative.
Is that okay? Okay, we need a motion to start a new fund
If the grant is accepted.
if the grant is accepted.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Gray.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir, that's what I'm talking about. She come in with confidence. She already believe that grant gonna be.
She walking out the door?
approved.
Mm-hmm.
She want a number where to put the money in.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I got a question. Back in the days.
Okay, we already approved it.
Yeah.
They used to get, money for the CASA person, like a grant. They don't get that anymore.
We do not. We used to, I remember when we did, we used to get money, one, we got some supplement money from United Way. We don't get that anymore. We also used to get it from National CASA. And then National CASA doesn't do that anymore. That was years back. So that's why we had to approach the board to start paying for that position. Hoping, from what Judge Brown asked for earlier, hoping something, we can get some funds from that opioid money to help with that program as well as our drug court programs.
I got a question. Have you all ever talked to legislation about that? Kind of helping with costs?
Not with CASA, have not.
A lot of
That is
counties
something
don't
to
even
do.
use CASA, they just hire their own guardian ad litem, and that's a lot more expensive than the CASA program.
Cost, yeah.
We
no.
Some
know
of
they
it
don't-
can.
Yeah, 'cause-
we know they don't use it because our CASA go from here to
She goes all over the
all
place.
over the place.
She's always on the road.
And that's any guardian ad litem, they go visit a kid once a month.
Okay. Is that all for you? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next? There she is.
Good morning. Name, price, purchase order for Adams County Board of Supervisors. I would like to spread the office travel and procurement card across the Metro.
Need a motion by Mr. Gray. Second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries.
Okay, we had our annual bids for the disaster debris monitoring on September 19th. We had 2 bids, one from Tetra Tech, and the other one from Debris Tech. I'll quickly go over the monitoring positions. The Debris Tech principal position, $0 per hour. Project manager, $55 per hour. Operations manager, $50 per hour. Field supervisors, $45 per hour. Load site monitors, $32 per hour. Debris site tower monitors, $32 per hour. Total, $214. Tetra Tech principal, $0. Project manager, $62 per hour. Operations manager, $52 per hour. Field supervisors, $42 per hour. Low site monitors, $31.50 per hour. And debris site tower monitors, $31.50 per hour. Total $219. Debris tech was the lowest and best bid, $214. And also recommended by Graff, Robert Graff.
Okay, we need a motion to accept that. Moved by Ms. Hutchins,
Second.
second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion?
Yeah, do they guarantee any of their work?
Excuse me?
Do they guarantee their work?
I have a whole booklet of paperwork showing, which I gave to, a copy of everything to, Paige, of their qualifications and everything.
Wasn't debris tech who we used for the ice storm, probably?
Yeah. No.
He ended up on the hook for several $100,000.
Was this the same people?
Who was the other one?
The other one was technical.
Is it the same, Rob?
I think so.
So, if that's the case, then what we gonna do?
Did Brad speak with him? Brad's not here. Did he speak with him? Or is he?
No, he spoke with them a week before, I think a week before.
That's what I'm saying. I had spoken with him, but I think Brad,
Yeah, he spoke with them, the three techs. What I was saying is
Yeah.
that they, that's who he said he recommended out of the two.
So Brad recommended that?
Yes. They are the lowest and best bid, and he also said that his recommendation was for
Wait a
them
minute,
two.
they may be the lowest, but they're not the best.
Best bid.
The last time
Okay.
we used them, we ended up getting a bunch of stuff. that
Right,
wasn't
and we don't have to go with the lowest, because they're not the best.
what she's saying is they went in and they were monitoring, they let people cut something that's greenish instead of dead, and we ended up.
I didn't have, I
Happy
wasn't
to.
aware of that.
Yeah.
No one informed me of that.
Are we just supposed to have somebody online just in case? Is that what that's about? But
Yeah.
the question is, can you get them when we actually need them?
No.
And we only got two, and it sounds like they're the same company, just under different names.
Can we rebid?
Is it imperative that we,
You don't have, just because you accept them, you don't still have to use them.
you don't have to? Okay, I think we should.
Yeah, this is, it's a term.
That's a
I don't want us to
discussion.
have a
That is
group
a
of
discussion
companies.
question.
Yeah, we don't have.
It's a term bid, so we don't have to use them, we don't want to. Well, my question would be is if they will agree to get paid what we get paid by FEMA, so we're not out though. And that's their job too, right, Robbie? Aren't they supposed
Correct.
to make sure we are cutting what FEMA will reimburse us?
Versus FEMA, what FEMA's gonna pay for it.
And what they happened last time is we cut a bunch of stuff that FEMA
That
wouldn't pay.
that FEMA didn't
All
pay
right.
for.
Do we need just to have this, put aside and let somebody negotiate with them and make sure they give this to us in writing, what you're asking for?
Yeah, I mean, maybe in there, right, but I don't know. But that's what I'd wanna see, some sort of guarantee. What are you fancy paying them for then? What are they monitoring if not to make sure you get reimbursed?
Okay,
I have their, all of the information on there.
you want to table it for the time being, folks?
Excellent.
Okay, we're gonna table that for right now. You got something else?
Yes, last item I have is, Miles Construction submitted his second, payment for the showers at the station. And it's laid cylinder blocks to specs, install roof trusses, install 2x4s and roof for 10, install 10 roof, install plywood and gables, install fascia boards on exterior, install soft fit boards on exterior, install siding and gables on exterior. And I have some photos too as well. Did you?
I want it by Thursday, yes.
Everything's been done? Okay. Well, I need a motion to submit payment.
So moved.
I didn't think you
moved by Mr. Gray, second by Mr. Gaines.
I went by Thursday.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Any nays?
Yeah, I have photos.
Motion carried.
I'm gonna run them out and pass them out to y'all.
I need a copy of that.
Real, can I say?
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I just want to go back to this debris tech and Tetra Tech. I just did the math and it's $5 an hour difference. The main difference between the two is debris tech's two top positions are higher, the project manager and operations manager, which they would only have one of each of those. Tetra Tech's field supervisors, load site monitors, and debris site tower monitors are all cheaper. So actually, to be honest, Tetra Tech in the end would probably be cheaper than debris tech. So if you just add it up, yeah, they're cheaper, but I think there's more or less positions. See what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I still think we need to find out if they're gonna do what we need them to do, and not what they
That
want
needs
to
to
do.
be
And also what FEMA's
rechecked.
gonna pay. That's the key is what, if they're gonna do what they're supposed to do and what FEMA pays for their amount.
We're tabling that for right now, so anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'm just say this while, Mr. Price is here. You know that I had to, go to Southwest planning meeting, when was that?
Next Thursday.
Last Thursday, and I didn't make the meeting because my truck broke down.
Your county truck?
My county truck broke down, and luckily it broke down at the 76 gas station or whatever the case may be. I thought I had did something wrong because it wouldn't move. I was finna get some gas and I put the gas in and it wouldn't move. I said, well, maybe I got it in four-wheel drive. Maybe I got an emergency breakdown. But I called Robbie and I called Supervisor Gaines, and both of them kept telling me what to do. So Robbie ended up sending somebody to get it, and I kept doing what Robbie told me to do, and I guess it snapped back to whatever, and then I was able to tell him to cancel it, and I drove back on home, so I ain't go to Tylertown, so I'm just letting you know. So truck got 70,000 miles on it. I probably gonna need another truck. And
Okay.
And I talked to Ms. Price and I told her to be on the look for another truck, but I'm gonna be looking myself too. I just want to bring it to y'all.
70,000 miles and he broke in. That truck's 400,000 on it.
The only service I ever had with the truck is changing oil.
Changing oil.
I mean, they don't do nothing but change oil.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Robbie, is there any way that your department can use the truck?
We can always use.
Looks like we have a bid war between the sheriff and the road department. Okay, who's next?
That's who we can
Thank
go
you.
to. Maybe sheriff department.
Morning, board.
Morning.
Completed my fall training for the VSO, the state got a certification through them. Also, I put in for reimbursement for the meals for that trip.
Okay.
The training went well. I actually learned a lot of stuff and better prepared to help the veterans in the county. Also, we have the vet program that's coming up that we're gonna have to pay. Just need to know what line item I need to take it out of. That's all I have.
Okay.
Do you have anything for me?
Yes, sir. I think, has anybody else got anything? We got the form. It's been signed, so you're good to go.
All right.
Appreciate your help, man.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Sharon, good work. I see you I will say this, I see you are very, very active in that position. I see you go to every training and, you know, I don't hear much complaining, about they can't get in contact with you and nothing like that, so you are being very useful in that position, and I appreciate your hard work.
Second.
Hey.
Thank you, sir.
How you feel?
Yes.
Got all supervisors.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Good morning, board. 358 911 requests, 244 transporters, that's 68% that took transport. City matches 7 minutes 34 seconds for a 93% average. County 13 minutes 16 seconds at 94. 40 refusals matching last month. 12 no patient contacts, that's dropped a little bit. 37 canceled, that's increased, and then 25 sites, that went up again this month for September. 213 multiple calls, that's calls all happening at the same time. First time ever, I actually had 8 trucks running in Adams County at one point, 8 at the same time, all of them on calls, and was trying to get them cleared to hospital. Hospital's doing good at getting them cleared, but they were just coming in so fast. The time to process that call, get them dropped off, and get back out, you know, we would just call to call to call. It's unusual, it's never happened here that much like that. 7 medical flights from the field, that's increased by 2 for this month. We have 2 employees that are competing in that EMS convention in North Mississippi. They're basically going to display and show what their skill sets are as paramedic students for the EMS convention. We just updated our training center. AHA came in, did an inspection type situation. Every so many years they do it. We ended up having to buy around $14,000 worth of training devices to stay up and current. And that way we can continue doing what we do, which is supporting local law enforcement and firefighters and doing internal training for our own employees. We can continue that process under the AHA guidance. I did participate with the NSOF meeting. Me and Darryl went to that. We'll be getting with you. It's an online application this year. There are some nuances, some changes to it. In reference to a lot of the old ways of doing stuff kind of come under question by the state, not this county. I'm talking about statewide as a whole. For instance, just to give you an example that's easy, when we escrow money to do the 3-year escrow, we're actually supposed to escrow it for 4. So you escrow it for 3, and the 4th year you have to spend all 4 years worth of funds. So you total. Anything you don't expend after it when you do, they consider escrow a contract, basically. Any extra funds for them 4 years that you don't expend in the entirety by September the 30th, you have to send back to the state. We're not looking at doing that. They did ask if any of us would be willing to participate with a challenge on those return funds. Counties that don't utilize all their funds have to turn them back in. Right now, they have to go back to the state, and then we have to kind of challenge to get them back. I put us on the list and said I would absolutely dress up in my full uniform and go make the argument so we can try to get those in these smaller, more rural counties for us. So me and Darryl and Brad will set up a date that works with you and in time to get it submitted correctly. Does anybody else have any questions for me?
Sounds like fun.
It really ain't, but it runs back, I think this year, what, $18,700 is coming back to the county. And we're able to use that for, you know, improving EMS in the county, so. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Look better without the cowboy hat.
Well, you know, you brought it up, that they haven't won every time, so I can't work.
That's over with.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got 2 projects here to discuss. Lynette could not be here, so one is the home grant the county put together. She has 2 invoices here, and these were for the 2 homes I think you submitted, Kevin.
Yes.
And Paige, she said she sent you copies of these.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, one is for roughly $6,400, and the other one's for $9,700 for the 2 homes. Just approval for these to get paid.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gray,
Second.
second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays?
All right.
Motion carries.
And the other one is a home grant tire handling, which is actually a grant through the Mississippi Home Corporation. So we opened bids a few weeks ago. Home Corporation has told me I can move forward now. So what I've got is it's called an owner participation agreement. It's kind of like y'all's contract between the county and a homeowner. Now we have four homeowners. So I sent this to, I sent a version of this to Scott last week, and I was told by Mississippi Home Corporation it has been updated, so they sent it a new updated version of this on Friday. So Scott may not have gotten it, but I've got copies here. I actually got copies for everybody.
Is that the one that said it didn't look like a full
Right.
contract?
Yep. So I got the full one now.
Okay, well, I figured that was the case.
Let me give you copies of these. It just lays out how the project's gonna work, how the cash requests work, what the homeowner can and can't do with their home. They have to stay in the home. They can't just sell it after they have it improved. Thank you.
Okay, do we need to do anything on this, or you just giving us an update?
Actually, yeah, I'd love for y'all to go and approve. I'll have 4 of these for each homeowner. Approve, Kevin, to go ahead and sign these pending Scott's approval of this agreement. If that's okay.
You've already looked it over.
Yeah, well, no, this is a new one. The one he
It's
gave me,
similar, but this is more detailed.
I told
Okay,
him it wasn't complete. He's like, oh, no, that's the complete one.
okay, so I need a motion that is dependent on him,
So moved.
Scott looking it over and saying it's okay.
So
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by, Ms. Hutchinson. Mr. Gaines? Oh, okay, you're gonna rejoin the meeting, okay. He was in the basement there. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Mr. President, the motion was to approve this
Pending,
pending legal.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
All in favor, aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
That's all I got. Thank
Y'all
y'all.
do anything with it?
What's that? Yeah, I've already emailed it.
Oh, okay. Is there a place on here? I need to
I'll
sign?
verify.
Do all 5 of them sign them or just?
No, just got it. But so don't sign it yet. It's not actually. I got to input some information, like the homeowner's name, the contract number. That's just
Okay, you'll
generic.
bring it back to us for the sign later.
Right. When Scott approves it, I'll fill out one for each homeowner, and I'll bring it to you.
Okay, when they get through those 2 projects, the money left over, I could use on something else, on the 2.
Not mine.
Lynette.
No,
The actual
that's
amount is
about that.
20,000.
Well, it's y'all's money,
This
so I-
looks like it's 15,000. I can either use it on something else or turn it back to general fund or what?
He's gonna go to other applicants.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
All right. Just have 2 things. Tomorrow, we have a travel request tomorrow to the State Fire Academy for a fire coordinator meeting. That's me and Pearl. And Wednesday, got a travel request for myself, Brad, Bree, Cooks.
Hold up just one second. What's the first thing you're requesting?
State Fire Coordinator meeting at the State Fire Academy. That's tomorrow.
Did you submit that?
Well, just going, coming right back.
Oh, okay. You just need permission. Okay. So what's the second thing? Do you want to put them together?
No, it's 2 separate.
Okay, I need a motion by West and a second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried. Okay, got the second thing.
The second one, travel request for myself, Brad, Bree Cooks, and Billy Humphries to the Alcorn campus at Roman for, health fair. They invited us to be a part of the health fair at Alcorn campus, at Roman. That's Wednesday.
Okay, yeah. What's the date? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
All right, okay.
That's all I have.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries. Thank you, Darryl. Darryl, before you leave, just, I have a resignation letter here. You're not gonna talk about that?
Well,
If you're retiring, I mean, not, but that is, do we need to approve
Yeah.
that letter? And I know I saw it in here somewhere. Okay. He retired on December the 1st. Okay, this is from Brad actually, but, we appreciate your service, and, I don't actually have the letter, this is from Brad. Did you write a resignation letter?
Not yet, but I have one.
Okay. Okay, well, I just, before you walk away, I just want to make, cause I'm sure we'll see you again, but, I just want to thank you for all your years of service. And I watch you walking around, I know how hard that must be for you, because it looks painful, and so.
yeah.
Congratulations, but yeah, we'll get the, when you get the letter to us, we can approve.
I'm gonna say my thanks.
Yeah,
I got something else for you to do before you go.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thank you, Darryl.
All right.
Good morning.
Paper lady.
Morning.
I'm coming to you today, my name is Courtney McNeil, I'm coming to you today as the inventory clerk to have the fixed assets for 2023-2024 spread across the minutes. I have balance and reconciled each location, and I have it prepared, ready to send to the state.
All right.
So,
Need a motion?
Second.
By Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, board.
Morning.
James Davis, tax collector. I just have two things. One of them I presented last week, which was the pay and loop form for Shirley Emery. I wrote the amounts wrong, so I just wanted to get it represented and approved so that it can be correct.
You got that with you?
Yeah, I got one with you, but I think Corvette said she put it in
And what is the form?
the pay and loop form for Shirley Emery, for when she got her certification at Mississippi State. Yeah,
He said you got the wrong numbers in
Yeah, I
there.
had those, the original numbers, include the increase.
You sound just like.
Floyd, Brenda Anderson. Lavera, Dorsey, Shirley Jim. Okay, actual number, hour rate, $16.96, $35,280 a year. This is the corrected one. We need a motion to approve it, approve this one as it is.
correction.
Correction.
Yeah. So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines,
Second.
second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
All right, and the second thing is just my insolvencies for the fiscal year 2023 that I need to spread across the minutes, personal property, mobile homes, and land road.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries.
Thank you, have a great day.
All right, thank you. All right. Who's next?
Good morning, board.
Morning.
Morning.
I have your lease payment for the warehouse. I also have a payment for debt retirement. Also have budget, you spread across your records. The commission will meet next week. If we have any amendments or additions or deletions relative to the budget, we will acknowledge those.
House two.
Give me the check. No.
We love to see them checks coming in today.
Thank
commission has a couple of requests, if you would, for your consideration. I do have items to be determined that I wish you would give me a time frame, so that I won't be down here all day. One of the requests from the commission is that some of the repairs to the infrastructure that was paid by commission, I request credit on the infamous debt retirement plan.
Are you talking about the
Long,
the T-Dot?
Antiquity, yes. 75,000 is their request, your discretion. In addition to the check that.
Yeah, if you could, can you shoot us like just basic invoices? We can, that makes sense to us. There's an old debt back in 98 or so that we did.
99.
We technically can't forgive it under state law, but I mean, it's important to us, so I mean, it is what it is.
So we're forgiving our own debt?
You're not forgetting it, you're crediting against that debt for some work they did to the basic facilities we own.
And it would be the second time that the board did it in its history.
I'm just curious, seeing we basically pay the bills.
What
The-
Not really, but
The port
What?
is supposed to be a separate entity, basically, right?
they're a
They
separate
handle their own
entity,
money and
but
everything.
they still, it's the county owns the port, they manage the port, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
They're not responsible for the upkeep.
I mean, they do what they can on their just.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I think we're more responsible for the upkeep of it because it's our port, but the port is doing the upkeep,
Right.
managing the upkeep themselves.
It really is just for their accounting
Yeah.
purposes, is what they're asking, they almost ask.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
when I came over here, it was a very, very unique situation. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, to my knowledge, we don't appropriate no funds to the port, right? Like we do to the airport. We
Yeah, they
did
don't
have
have, not for their operation, the only amount of money, we have a debt service that they then turn around and pay for us for that warehouse. That's the only amount of money I think we have given to the port
Right.
since I've
That's
been
it.
here.
That's it.
And there was, in the time though in the past, I think probably when Tony ended up taking it over, there was some
Yeah.
payments that they were having to get over the county, and since then they've come off of that, my understanding.
Okay, has everybody looked over the budget? Or do you wanna do that other, the last thing you come up with, taking $75,000?
I asked him just.
I told him to send some invoices so we have for our minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna hold off on that, and what about the budget? Have you looked it over? Or are we gonna wait and do all that at the same time?
If I may, Mr. President,
Go ahead.
historically, you just received and accepted for your records.
We can either approve or not approve it, you can't adjust it. It's one of those yay or nay type of things. And this looks like it's an increase by $12,900. Oh, that's total revenues, I'm sorry. Your expenditures,
Same thing.
your total expenditures is $12,900 increase from last year.
So moved.
Okay, need a motion, I got one from Mr. Gray,
Second.
second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
Did your salary stay the same?
Yeah, I see it, the same salaries, it's no increase.
For whatever reason, that's the only two things we approved for the director's salary in the budget per year.
All right, anything
The
else?
second request from the commission is a request for a copy of the plans of construction that is ongoing on Bellwood property now. They are some concerns. That's why they're requesting those plans.
Mr. President.
Have you asked Doug for them? He won't give them to you?
I hadn't gotten them.
That channel should have those ones.
Well, the engineer.
Okay, we're gonna try to get somebody to take care of that.
I'm gonna email him right now.
So just let me know when you have time for proposals.
Probably looking about 30 more minutes.
Mr. President, I'm just gonna say this because, I ain't really never experienced how, you work for the county on one hand, and then the other hand, you work against the county. I mean, there's just too much going on in this county that we allow people to get away with which they shouldn't be getting away with. It's an incident happened the other day out on Morgantown Road, and just kind of shocked me to find out that Neil Schaefer is making all this money with the county, and then the engineer turn around and work for another entity against the county. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. I'm just bringing.
Is this on the telephone pole?
It's on Adams County Water. At the last minute, Adams County Water came in and wanted the county, they gotta move, well, the engineers say they didn't have to move their water lines, and they hired, same people we paying for the port, and I'm just gonna let the engineers speak on it. There you go, right there. You speak on it.
You were the lady.
Well, we didn't have to move. Well, Robert, you can speak on it. You was out there. The engineer ain't got to speak on it.
Well,
You speak
and Robbie needs to do his report anyway, so we
Yeah, go
can
on,
talk
speak on
about
that.
that.
Because it's kind of confusing to me.
They hired Neil Schaefer to come in and redesign or move the water lines. They had some old existing lines and replace them with, I think, PVC or something, whatever, go to or whatever. And that was the whole concern when we met Friday, that it was under the project. Once our engineer showed them it wasn't, it was right there at the edge and things like that. At the end of the day, they wanted $500,000 for the county to pay to relocate water lines. But they're gonna put some isolation valves in. Once they put those in, we're gonna move forward with the project, which we're still gonna start project next week. Grubbing and cleaning, and then they go ahead and get their isolation valve. But the project is gonna move forward.
Yeah, it's within the county right away, and it's not an obligation that the county has to pay to have moved their water line. You know, that's the way we've always said it's the price of doing business. County, if you're using our right of ways, use our right of ways, we don't pay to move them and so forth. So, but they requested that we fund or help fund them moving those right of ways, and about $500,000.
We need a motion to deny.
No.
Yeah, I would, because they've been asking us, and they asked,
So
they asked us.
Okay, motion to deny the request by the water company to move their lines off our right away.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gray. Second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I mentioned, go ahead, Mr.
No, go ahead.
I mentioned this earlier that we need to take a closer look at what's going on inside our right of way, and it's just like broadband. We got all these people coming in and they making money, and the county ain't making no money. We got to start making money other than off the Avalon tax. We ain't got no other way to make money. So if everybody gonna come in and use our right of ways and with broadband and put all this stuff on there, and they talking about this at the state level. But anyway, I don't even know if the board want to do this. We need to find a way. If people using our right of way is not cooperating with us, then we need to put a fee on it. That's just my opinion.
Is there anybody in the state that's doing that, or is anybody talking to the
We're
state
gonna
about it?
check.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, they have been talking about
For the broadband, now they talking about all 82 counties.
it. They're doing it.
Yeah.
We actually do it for Cable One and AT&T. They have to pay us a franchise fee for cable, for GD cable.
Yes.
So that's, Scott, one thing I want clarification of, because like I say, I just want clarification of if a utility company, if we allow them right away to place their utility for if it's cable, lights or whatever, and would they have in return that they have a responsibility to maintain it? Is that something in law? Because you know, that's basically what I was saying earlier. We give you right away with no charge. You say you come through every 5 years and you clean it up. So now we gotta turn around and pay you $40,000 for what you should be doing anyway, and what we give you something free for. So, by law, if the county allows entity to use their right of way for free, is it their responsibility to maintain and their lines and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we allow utilities to use our right-of-ways. It's not for free. The consideration is that they are servicing public needs of our, and so we don't ask a lot from them other than if we gotta change that road and their utility is in the way of our right-of-way, they gotta pay and move it. We don't have to pay to move their stuff. And that's just how it's very similar to that across the state. But there's an AG's opinion that says you can certainly charge to use the public right of ways if you want. For instance, we do charge AT&T and Cable One to use our right of ways. So, you know, so no, we shouldn't have to pay for things that are within our right of way. If it's outside our right of way, that's when we have to pay to move them because they're not using them for that particular.
And so, you know, basically that's what, I think it needs to be a serious conversation at the table, because I do want to hear both sides of the story, but at the same time, I don't want the county uncovered, because I do understand that you're dealing with certain people, certain things, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be caught paying for something that you should be done, that we should be getting done for free. I don't want to pay you for to do your job that you should be doing anyway with the access of using our property. And so the agreement needs to work on both ends. If we're gonna have agreement, I'm not saying go back and make everything concrete, because every situation is not stone. And I'm not saying don't charge a fee, but I think we need to have a serious conversation about that. So if you're gonna do something to make sure that you cover, like charge us $40,000, well, what in turn does a county do to make sure that we're covered when things like this happen? So I'm not saying we need to do this, do that. I'm saying we need to come together and make it fair for everyone. And we need to look into it. And my goal is when bring it to this board, make sure they're okay with it. But when we go to Midwest conferences and stuff like that, so I want to know how utilities are treating other companies. Are any other counties having the same problems, and what they do before we make drastic decisions? I want to do some research on it to be fair, but I don't want us to be uncovered like that anymore.
Mr. President?
Yes.
The only thing kind of threw me off was when Adams County Water said they knew nothing about the Morgantown Road project.
That ain't true.
I mean, everybody know about the Morgantown Road project because that was the #1 thing been going on. I asked them, I said, well, do you even live in Adams County? Do you get the newspaper? Robbie, am I lying?
That's what they said.
They said they didn't know nothing about the Morgantown Road project. So we getting ready to break ground out there, and they come in the last minute telling us something about some water line.
They
Like
actually
they
sent us a
didn't know nothing about
letter
it.
in October of last year asking us for money basically for it. I assumed the silence was no, but anyway.
That was part of the reason.
But they knew about it over a year ago.
We had to stop some of the project. They want so much to move their utilities.
That was the gas line that ended up having to get some things fixed. It's okay because it seems like it's gonna go on schedule, but
That we're denying the request by the Adams County Water Association
Yeah, I'll
to
write a letter.
pay to move their lines on our right of way.
We just don't have funds for that.
We had, not, have we carried that motion? Okay. We drew, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And they were not demanding it, they were coming cap in
That
hand.
is second.
It's not, they weren't saying they have to pay it like the other side, they were asking us to do it, I just said we don't have it, but I'll.
Good morning, board.
Morning.
First thing I have a dead tree, and President Wilson, I put a picture up there. It's on 2 Round Hill Road, between some power lines. We can't move it now, so just ask the board to give me permission to get that tree removed. It's on my right of way.
Okay, need a motion to allow Robbie Dollar Road Crew to take care of the trees.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
I have 7 pieces of equipment that's not working, that I'm gonna put on gov deal. You know, we mentioned this a couple months back, looking back at the equipment we had, what's not working. We got all the pictures and stuff and the reserves put on them, and just get permission before the board, before I send it to gov deal.
So moved.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Gaines,
Second.
second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Gary Rayburn supposed to start Scotland Drive, the DWP, he's supposed to start it today. Lady, homeowner's been texting me this morning, I don't know where they at.
Where about?
They're on Scotland Drive, the one that fell, Rayburn got, he's supposed to start it today, so I'm just letting the board know.
Has he even moved his equipment, or is that what the problem is?
I don't think he's moved anything
Okay.
this morning, so she's looking for it, but she's been texting me about every other day, so I text her, because I know he's supposed to start today, so she's looking for it.
Do you need someone to reach out to them, or?
I texted him this
You
morning.
text him.
So he said he's trying to get there. Mr. Middleton, I met myself last Wednesday at Cottage Point Road, and start working on that, trying to get, working on Cottage Point.
Wait, hold up now, what'd you say?
That money for Cottage Point,
$500,000.
It don't have to be bid?
yes.
He's
that's
saying
what
he's
I
not the
met-
engineer.
I
Oh,
met.
I ain't hear you.
Yes, and we met, and he's working on,
Okay.
putting some drawings together, and getting the
Okay.
bid out, so, just passing that forward. State aid, I know y'all were asking about spending some of that money, and, met with Mr. Ford on that too last week, and we discussed it, and we're going over, looking at what roads and getting state aid report. Should have something by next board meeting to present to y'all on roads that need what's working, what our recommendations are. Just giving y'all that update.
Okay.
Alright. You should have this, President Wilson, a new hire,
Okay,
Lloyd Howard.
Wellington.
It'll start October the 9th, which is Wednesday. It will start at $14.50 an hour, $30,160, and go to $15.50 after 6 months.
Okay, and pleasure of the board, need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
The other thing I have is a illegal dump site on Sage Field Road. Permission to clean it up.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines,
Second.
second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
That's all I have, unless y'all have something for me.
Good.
While you're there, I want to get you to, you have annual leave, 10/9 to 10/11, 2 days.
Yeah.
Robbie Dollar.
Wednesday, Thursday.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Ms. Hutchins, second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries. Okay.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Robert, I didn't have the paperwork because I didn't get the, I don't know the address. Remember we talked about Charlie Ellis, which was for a dirt request, so I didn't have, I know his name, but I don't know the, well, you know where you're at, in a Sagefield Road, I don't have his name. But what I do wanna address, me, you, and Scott went out, and when I went out last time, I was listening at this message right here on the phone, and Scott, you need to listen, because I need to make sure, clarity. Me and Scott and Robert, went out on Bluegrass, and you having some neighbors having some problem with some water, and they were supposed to cut the grass that we can look, but now they said they're going to court on, I guess, next Monday, and the judge needs a letter from me, and that's private property, that's a civil suit, and I know that, which I couldn't write a letter without the pleasure of the board, but then I definitely can't do nothing illegal. It's illegal, I can't make a call, it's way off our right of way, it's in the back, but it was a drainage problem, but I need to address that before the board, because I know it's illegal for me to write a letter, and I don't know what they're doing, but I couldn't get a judge a letter without the pleasure of the board anyway, but it's definitely way off our right of way, and it's something that needs to be fixed, and so we didn't have a chance to go, you know, we was gonna cut the grass, and we was gonna look at the drainage, because for to bring y'all up to speed, Bluegrass is the one that we asked the engineer to apply for a drainage project. If anybody ever been to Bluegrass, you know when it rains, it floods. There's probably 20 houses over there that actually flood like that, and that's in the low zone, but I just wanted to make sure that the board know that I'm not gonna be able to write a letter in a private property. I want direction from Scott, because he dealing with, say, the judge want a letter from me, but I can't write a letter, and I don't think we can, it's legal for anybody else, Robert, nobody else to write a letter, because I can't actually do any work. I gotta go through the road manager. We deal with a unit system. Supervisor is not allowed to do any work. Supervisor is not allowed to do any calls. Everything goes through the road manager. So I don't want to put him in a spot. I just want the board to be aware of what's going on and get your opinion on this, guy. So you can give us some direction so everybody know where we stand.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, you never have to talk to anybody or do anything that you don't want to do, private or public. I mean, you know, they can't compel you to do that. That a letter is probably not going to be admissible in court anyway, because that's hearsay. If they want to compel you to testify, I mean, what are you going to say? We've been out there and we don't know whether it's storm water or whether it's not, you know, whether it's standing water. We don't know that. And that's why we asked them to cut the grass, to take a look at it. So, I mean, you don't have any, there's no reason for you to write a letter out of it. Certainly no reason for Supervisor Gaines or any of the supervisors to write a letter individually, you know.
I just want to clarify that on record.
That's clear, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
you and I have talked about it.
Yeah, we clear. But I also want, you know, bring it right to the rest of the board, because I know that's illegal. I know I can't make a judgment on private property, just common sense. If I go in somebody's backyard without permission or without speaking through this minute, it's totally illegal for me. So how would I make a judgment in somebody's backyard? That'll be illegal, the same thing. And I don't, you know, civil cases are civil cases, and I just kind of leave it like that and leave it up to them. But anyway, I yield the floor behind that. I just want some clarification for us. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything for Robin?
Mr. Dollar, did you ever go down on Johnson Circle and see what was going on with the street down there? Could you go down there and check this right down there? They got a big cut in the street.
Cut on the end of the street, that's water, that's
Broadmoor.
I'll get with them, that's it. You know, we've worked on that ladies. We worked on our close.
Mr. Rob, where we at, asked Dara, you know, when we went to Broadmoor Utilities.
Write them down right now, blue reflector.
We need the blue reflectors, and we need to remind, I got with Dara, we need to do that. And the fire hydrant, when the house was lost on Gaylor Road right there, he said he got with Steve. Steve hadn't got back with him out. I mean, he said it's plenty enough houses, so all we need to do is put a fire hydrant. So I think if we can, I know it's busy, remind him. I just don't want that to fall through the cracks. and get that project, started.
Yeah, he asked me about them all ago. We've ordered them, I'm just checking if they come.
Okay, all right, thank you, I yield the floor, Mr. President.
All right.
Good morning, board. Just updates, the SAP 0110 and the whole M, that's the striping project that took place on Kingston Road, Lower Woodville Road, and Albany Road. Construction was completed. We had a final inspection this past Wednesday, which was the 2nd of October. Following the inspection, there were no items of concern on our part, road manager's part, or State Aid part. So therefore, we will be moving forward with closing out that project. We will return to the board for final acceptance at that time, once we get the current from State Aid. Morgantown Road, construction will begin on October the 15th. As Mr. Dollar said previously, they'll be starting with the clearing and grubbing, and then moving forward with the next phase of construction. The last item that I have is, I provided everyone with a copy of a program form for Low Water Bridge, so that you can see how much we are anticipating the cost of that bridge be constructed for. The program form, just for your information, I did provide the same form to the clerk to allow all of you all to sign. Once I get that document back, I will send to State Aid in hopes that they will approve that program form. Of course, all program forms submitted to State Aid are depending on every year they're approved. I can't guarantee they're approved. In this instance, you have a situation where the program form, the amount of the program form is significantly higher than the amount of funding you have in your LSDP fund. So if they do approve the program form, we will go through the design process. And at the time that we have an estimate, once we finalize the design, we can then request that they pay the difference out of the pool fund that they have for LSDP funds. And that again will be only contingent on their approval. So I'm just requesting everyone's signature on the program form for Low Water Bridge Road.
Okay, I need a motion.
So
Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And that's all I have. There was a letter for the extension of funds, response. We had already approved this, so I can't signature the president on it. We had it submitted to me.
You say there's one up here already?
I provided it to you.
Get stuck somewhere else.
And I have another copy printed and have the signature.
Okay, and this is,
That the letter that I provided with, that came with the program. The letter response.
He's already signed.
Okay.
We're talking about this.
okay. All right, you got another one up here for, crossing in Crows Creek?
No, that's the program form for Low Water Bridge.
Okay.
So what I did was I gave everybody a copy so everybody can see one. I only need one copy back where everybody sees.
All right, okay, Low Water Bridge, okay. They're signing that now.
Is this not the same day?
Talking about this one?
Is this not the same day?
Maybe she,
This is Low Water Bridge. This is what you're talking about.
it might be, we'll just have a duplicate.
I think it's the same thing.
And all of y'all have one of those?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it? Okay,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. I just keep y'all signatures for a while in case I need it on something else.
And shred.
We don't need this one, these are the same, right? Just copy, okay.
Are there any questions from you on this?
Robbie said y'all are working on what it's gonna take to get the, or we're gonna discuss the plans on these other roads that we have state aid money for. And y'all are getting close on what we're gonna try to do.
So I submitted that, so we're gonna determine, I guess, the priority of the conditions of the road on the summer. And then once y'all determine which ones y'all wanna do, I
We
will
know
send
that the road gonna be wrong.
Know what? She said, we know Liberty Road's gonna be one of them.
That's a way of saying put it
And
on.
just know that there's,
I'm listening.
It's already on there.
You know I listen with it.
and just be mindful, if there's a state aid road that doesn't have a previous project on it, and you wanna consider it being resurfaced, you have to let us know there's a more, detailed process we have to go through to get that project constructed. We have to make sure that it's currently up to standards, up to state aid standards, so that requires some additional surveying and actually drawing up plan profiles, opposed to just doing a maintenance project. So just be mindful that is an option.
Did you all do South Palestine like that? Did you all do South Palestine like that?
No, South Palestine was the previous project.
Right, so I know we was trying to do the rest of it for state aid, trying to get it up to standards for state aid.
I mean, as long as if it's unapproved, we can do it. We need to have, like I said, have to survey it. But if we doing if it's an old lake project, it's gonna be cheaper. But if we doing any kind of reconstruction project where then it's gonna cost us.
Okay, y'all have anything else, Mr. Ford?
So, like I said, all of this is gonna be dependent on the existing condition of the road. I'm currently doing a project, we have a project up in High Center where we're doing, the portion of part of the project is not, don't have a previous price, so we have to go out and actually survey, but it's gonna be handled just the same way as the other one, just additional information. So,
All right, thank you, sir.
thank you.
Departmental reports, who's left?
You know. How y'all doing this morning, boy? All right. I won't be before you long. As y'all know, former Sheriff Chuck Mayfield passed away, and I just want to get off my condolences to his family. You know, he was a law man through and through in this area, regardless of what you felt about him. You know, the spirit of the law was truly in him. So, you know, our hearts and our prayers go out to him. One of the things that I wanted to bring up this morning, I want to give you all an update on the vehicle situation at the Sheriff's Office. One of our 2022 Dodge trucks were towed out the other day. We have two 2019 Durangos, both of them with long motors in them from head gaskets gone. We have 2 people in the academy and only 1 spare vehicle, which was a 2017 Ford Explorer. We only have 1 slot open right now on patrol, but we have 1 deputy out that's on FMLA right now. We have no marked patrol cars for them at all, no spare vehicles. And then we have 2 of them on the road that we're using on patrol right now that's over 150,000 miles. Right now we have several vehicles that are out wrecked, and what we're doing right now to try to save money for repairs and for the county is some vehicles that we're about to place up for sale. We're taking parts off of those vehicles to put on the ones that have been wrecked and swap them out before we sell them, just to try to, you know, to ease the cost on repairs. So Supervisor Gray, I've asked Robert to, if you get a new vehicle, please let us have yours so we can put it in rotation at the Sheriff's Office. Because right now, we're out. We got people sharing vehicles right now as we speak.
Mr. President, Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
you know, way back when I got that vehicle, I tried to get the county to do like other counties do. Once a vehicle gets a certain amount of miles on it, go on get rid of the vehicle and go on get another vehicle, because just like the vehicle I got, it's 7 years old, and what we pay for the vehicle, we can get more money right now than what we paid for the vehicle, because we got it on state aid contract. So it got about 7,000 miles on it. But what I'm saying is, if just like Enterprise came to us and said, once a vehicle gets so many miles on it, then we need to try to find a way to get rid of it,
Right.
to keep fresh vehicles in our fleet. And that's the only thing I'm saying. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but to me, that make more sense than anything, to find a way to keep fresh vehicles.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up though, because Enterprise was already on my list. I know the county administrator and Scott and I have been talking with Enterprise, and over the last couple of months, they have been really asking for the county to make a decision on whether we're gonna stay with Enterprise or whether we're gonna get away from Enterprise. Because they need to know, and they're not pressing us on selling, they just need an answer. Either we're gonna use them or we're not. So I'm asking the board to answer this question for Enterprise because they're constantly, look, and it's not a hassle. Let me say this, I like Enterprise personally. I do because I think they do better on bills. I know how much they can save us on maintenance fees alone. So I know how I feel about it. I don't know how the board and everybody else feel about it. So I'm asking the board to address whether we're gonna keep Enterprise or whether we're gonna move on. Because right now we're in the second year of not getting vehicles and going into the third. And I understand that the county's hurting, so I'm not complaining. That's why I asked for your old vehicle so we can put it on patrol. Not for office work or anything of that nature, but actually strike the vehicle out and put it on the road. So I'm asking for an answer from Enterprise so I know what to tell them because I don't want to keep telling them we'll be back with you, we'll be back with you, we'll be back with you, we'll be back with you.
We need to know from, the county administrator how that plan's working out, or Scott Slover, so we'll have some idea what we're talking about. 'Cause, we don't know what the numbers look like.
Is it a savings, is it something we can do ourselves, what?
Yeah, I mean, it ends up, I think we've calculated it at cost about $10,000 over the term of the lease to do all that. But whether you do it or not, it seems to make a lot of financial sense to sell that car at the peak point. You realize a lot of revenue, and in some cases, like you said, you get more back from it than you paid for it.
Right.
And so, sure seems to make a lot of sense. I don't know what the sheriff is saying. I don't not believe him, but I don't know what the savings are for maintenance and so forth. It does give us a little bit of extra stuff we have to do when we put them out. We have to put those out for bid to actually do a straight lease. You can't just do two written bids for a lease like you can for lease purchase. So just a little bit extra work to do it. And you know, it really just depends on if we think we can actually stick to it and do it, or if not, because Enterprise, they're gonna stick you to the plan, and you know, you'll definitely sell those vehicles within that 3 year, and they'll have the next level of cars for you. So
I can answer that for you right now, whether it's helpful or not. As shorthanded as we're working at as many jobs as we've piled on people, it is extremely helpful to have them going back and forth, trying to deal with vendors on prices and parts and things of that nature. Like right now, I've asked them with this truck that just got totaled out the other day, can we look at how much credit we have for another vehicle so I can bring it to the board to get that vehicle replaced? Because what we haven't done is really giving Enterprise a chance to let the credits work for us.
Again, I'd love to see it in action. And I told them that too. I'd love to see it in practice. We just hadn't had a chance for that to run.
And that's why they're asking us for an answer, because right now you got state bids and cars out there that we can get. But if we do like we've done in the past on multiple occasions, not give them an answer, then we're gonna be out of state contract, we're gonna be out of bid, and it's gonna cost us a ton of money when we do re-up and get vehicles. I know Ms. Stephanie has asked, or Scott, one of y'all have asked in the past about 4 vehicles a year. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But if we go into a third year with the amount of wrecks that happen in law enforcement, I'm telling y'all, it'll be just like we did last time, having to get 10 vehicles at one time. And that's what I want to avoid too. I'm not even looking for that, but it's becoming a necessity because we're getting in deer season. And you know, they're gonna be popping, they're gonna be running, people gonna be wrecking, and with law enforcement, we drive 24/7. It doesn't matter whether it's daylight, dark, storms, whatever. We're out in it, things are gonna happen. I personally would like to see us continue, and I'm asking the board to, but I'm open to whatever y'all get from the county administrator and Attorney Slover.
Go ahead, Mr. Middleton.
Is the city of Natchez doing enterprise?
Yes, and a lot of other people. are
And
coming
I
on with that
know
too. But
Court
they-
Parish SO does it,
They,
and it's
and
had
they
tremendous
just went
luck
with
with
them
it. And it might be a call that maybe Stephanie could call over and talk to the comptroller with CPSO and get some information she may need.
You would do better calling the city at this point, because they been re-upping with them. Matter of fact, they equipped the whole police department and the fire department now. They went with them before we did. So they know and they see it and they're doing it on a regular.
I was on board with it from day one.
Right.
From a financial standpoint, I think it makes the most sense. It keeps your fleet fresh. You know your expense, you schedule for it, and you move forward. But, you know,
The only reason I said call the city is because they've been doing it longer than anybody this year. That's the only reason I said it. And you call whoever you want to, because all of them use it. That's how
we're dealing with them now, but it's time to refresh them.
I'm-
How many vehicles you talking about turning over?
Four.
We have 4 coming up on lease in November. So it wasn't this budget year, but on that Zoom call, the mileage is getting there. It will happen before November, but they want to go ahead and roll them over.
and it's not only their vehicles. I mean, we can do it with,
I was fixing to say, it's a lot of road departments doing, Lamar County's doing, we just had a meeting when we went to Hines the other day, y'all give us permission to go up there as our board, we sat there and talked about it. And a lot of counties and road departments are going to the same thing. Lamar County just went to it, Mr. Tommy was in a new truck, and he said they just got forward, is what they were gonna try, they just went to this program.
and what he said is exactly right. What Supervisor Gray said is exactly right.
It makes sense though.
It's just like he's doing with our,
Yeah.
with our big
Truck
trucks. Same thing.
Equipment, same thing.
Well, the only thing I don't wanna see happen, Sheriff, I'd rather see you get a new vehicle than to get this old vehicle I got, cause it gave me problems. And, a law enforcement officer needs something way more dependable than that, cause y'all gonna have to get there in a time and frame, a manner, so y'all gonna need a new vehicle. That's just my opinion.
You want something that's gonna stop all this.
Yeah, why wouldn't you realize your income?
Is there any problem with approving the enterprise deal for the 4 cars today? Stephanie?
Yeah, you gotta advertise.
You gotta advertise.
Okay, so we can, we need a motion to advertise?
How you feel about stuff? I mean, is it feasible for us to do? I know you've been.
It's
What
what
you trying to ask, is it part of the budget?
Is it part of the budget? I mean, when I say feasible, is it part of the budget?
I had allotted some money for the budget, but it's just to maintain pretty much
Yes.
what we're doing right now. Their program, all they're doing is getting the vehicles off the state contract. They do have the software that they do the maintenance and do take some of the work off of the sheriff's department. So I think they would have a savings on it, but, I do have a meeting with, Mr. Cottingham, at Enterprise on Friday. So he was supposed to, get with me after we got the mileage and checking all of that to give me the numbers and all of that good stuff.
He had a Zoom set up with us the other day, you know, whatever happened, so we can get another set up.
Yeah, she probably was on vacation. She took a vacation.
Look, I ain't gonna, I ain't had it at all.
That's fine.
You need to refresh.
Well,
I
he
need to
had
refresh.
emailed me, he said he'll set it up for the 11th,
Yeah.
Friday.
Freshman.
Okay, so we'll do this on the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, the next thing I have is DEA funds. I'm sure y'all have read about it and heard about it. $268,487,000 awarded. We're trying to move $97,275 to 221-920.
You wanna do these separately or all together?
Move it where?
030, it's, Chucky told us to put it in this line item. 030-221-920.
030.
22, it's the federal, 030 is the federal forfeiture.
Okay, it was either, it should be an 031 or 030.
030, is that not what I said?
No.
I'm sorry.
It should already be either one.
You said 030.
Right, 221-920, that's what she said it should take the PO request out of.
And what
Who said that?
Chucky, we talked to her, this is for ISOMs and the server for ISOMs.
What we're trying to do is,
Office equipment over 5,000.
Okay, well, has that been budgeted?
no, this is in budget, it's out, this is through it.
So,
And basically what we're trying to do is, our operating system for the sheriff's office and that everybody's operating off of E911 is obsolete to the point where it can't be upgraded at. And since we have these siege funds that doesn't come from taxpayer dollars or anything, we wanna buy a whole new operating system along with upgrading our service with this fund. And so that's why I'm asking for this money to be moved and ask permission to, go ahead.
you need a budget amendment to do that. Nothing's been budgeted out of those two line items.
Right, that's what I'm asking for.
We just literally got the money awarded the last week.
It was in the newspaper. So my question
The
is,
process to get a budget amendment, telling where this is where the money came from, and approving that line item before you can get a PO out of it.
so,
Can you go ahead and request it?
That's
So,
it, yes, sir.
I mean,
No, I'm talking about.
where's the
The
money
process
now?
this board set up was that you fill out a budget amendment request form, you give it to Stephanie, she approves it, and then goes to the board. I'm not trying to, but that's the process that we have to do.
Let me ask you a question. Where is this money now?
It's sitting in 030 or 031.
Y'all got it already?
They got
Okay,
it Friday or whatever.
you're talking about this, just doing this for the sheriff's department, or are you talking about something with 911 too, or you just?
Well, 911 operates off our system, and we can't do any upgrades to it at all. We've been in contact with Chalkey, so we did not do the step that Scott is talking about, because Chalkey was supposed to be here this morning, and we.
She's sitting right
Okay,
there.
there she go right there. But we're, only reason we're pushing it because our system is about to crash, and we got the money, and we need to buy the system.
And it ain't costing us.
It ain't costing y'all a dime. I get it though.
So-
If we need to fill the paper out and come back, we'll do that. This ain't no, we just need to do whatever Scott needs to do, but I'm telling you, it ain't costing nobody nothing. And we have these funds that can only use for certain things.
So let me say this, Sheriff, I think what he's talking about, nobody's trying to,
Yeah, y'all do.
nobody's trying to use the money, nobody's trying to take the money, but it was a process that I put in place when we was here that we all voted upon, and that way when we, and I understand, so I didn't say nothing because Stephanie was on vacation, but it's a process that we go, here it is again, it's not Sharkey, it's nobody else, it's not the purchase clerk, it's not, I know last time it was Sharon, the process is your budget amendment goes straight to the administrator, and that way, cause so when we come in here, guess who we gonna ask for the money, is it okay? And all we saying, we not doing it, but if you get that to her, it'll just save a lot of her time and fill out her budget amendment, she say, okay, it's approved and we gone for it. That's all.
Okay, is she gonna start, do the form, or,
We gonna do whatever.
we'll go to the next thing for now?
I'm just telling y'all, that system go down, though, nobody gonna make it operate down. So if it waits another 2 weeks, that gonna be a problem. I'm just telling y'all, it crashed Friday. Why, everybody was gone, I'm not blaming Stephanie.
Chair, nobody's against it. We just gotta do the steps.
I'm just explaining to y'all the situation, though. Hear me out, guys.
Well,
Listen what I can do.
it's an emergency.
Well, so listen,
That's what I'm trying to
if
tell
you
everybody.
listen at what I'm trying to do, if you just listen, that's all I'm asking, listen. That's what's wrong. Everybody fussing, everybody thinking that I will make a motion pending that the paperwork is done so we can have it done. It's a way we can do it. We ain't worried about that. It's emergency. So I can make a motion pending our paperwork is there, and then we don't have to wait till 2 weeks.
Okay, well, that,
Can I get a second?
I appreciate that, Did.
Second.
Because
Okay.
here's the thing, I was just trying to tell y'all that it crashed Friday, and we stayed up here late working for AT&T, so I'm not fussing.
It's a
I'm telling you
discussion.
why, I'm telling you why we didn't.
The motion is that we approve, we move the money
Right.
pending,
Proper
the
paperwork.
proper paperwork with the administrator.
Okay.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Because of a emergency
Because of an
situation.
emergency
Motion.
Yeah.
That's the
Motion
only
by
reason I'm
Mr.
asking
Gray.
about it.
He made it.
I made the motion.
Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Gray.
That's the only reason I'm asking
Any
about it.
discussion?
Because it crashed Friday, that's the only reason.
Any
What
discussion?
did?
The system went down, we couldn't even do reports all day
She
Friday.
said, what is it, what system?
iSums is what we're trying to get upgraded to.
So the only discussion I have, Mr. President, to make the motion that Mr. Gaines made and I second, where everybody won't come in here and try to do the same thing. This is a emergency situation, and this is the reason we doing it like this. Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Yeah, it's in 030, so.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
I need to bring something else to the board. I'm not asking for this, but I've been asking to contact you all. The U.S. Marshals have been calling juvenile center. They've been contacting Judge Ward, but everybody's being told they got to ask the board. They want to contract out with the board. They don't have any juveniles right now, but they want to contract out with the board to pay the board $210 a day to house juveniles if they get some people. So I've been told, I've been called, the guy gonna email the contract. I told him that I don't run the juvenile center, but I will bring it to the board's attention so you all can acquire it wherever y'all need to acquire it. He didn't talk to
Somebody plays over here.
that place right there.
Well, if it were me, I'd have somebody from over here at the table, before we can make a decision, because I don't even know their situation over there. So the best way to do it is have somebody from court.
Have you discussed it with them?
Judge Brown.
Yeah, they have been in
Contact.
They have?
They have been in contact,
But
but
they should
they
have.
told them to contact you all, because you all, I'm just a messenger, I ain't asking for y'all to enter nothing, but I'm asking you all, y'all get with Mr. Upshaw, Judge Brown, one of you all.
Yep.
They've asked me to relieve that, to relay the message, and that's what I'm doing, because I told them I
Yeah,
have.
come to a board meeting.
Do you have
I do.
a contact for him?
I do. I'll send
They was here this morning.
And when you say that.
I'll send it to you, Scott. Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to put this, Mr. Upshaw or somebody.
They need to be here next meeting. Upshaw and Judge Brown. For that, they need to be asked.
It's not up to them, it's up to this board.
It's up to
Yes, up to the
I'm
board,
not
but they
disagreeing.
need
Y'all need
to.
We need to be in
Yeah,
communication.
yeah.
So this is something we
It's
gotta
up
do.
to us, but they need to present that and let us know that they have been contacted.
They could be making more
Yeah.
money from other jurisdictions.
We do the contract, but we want to know the availability there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say, that's what's on the table, and they contacted multiple times and been told the same thing, so they asked me would I bring it up to you all, and let you know they're trying to reach out to Adams County, so that's all I'm doing. All right. Moving on.
Okay, we need to talk to them. So do we need to invite them to the meeting or tell them here?
I'm
Okay,
gonna send Scott the contact information for the chief U.S. Marshal who's requesting it.
okay.
Two other things and I'm done. The opioid settlement, I've heard a lot of people talking about that. One thing I'm gonna ask why y'all allocate those funds, Scott, you knew this was coming. Just consider possibly putting a body scanner at the courthouse. Only reason I'm saying that, we got metal detectors with guns are no longer just made out of metal. And you got, I'm telling you, people killing judges left and right, all kinds of incidents are happening. So I'm just asking that you all consider, for security purposes, putting a body scanner at the courthouse. And the last thing I want to do is I want to thank the board, and I know some of you all are out of town or wherever y'all had going, but I do want to tell Supervisor Grady and Supervisor Hutchins, I really appreciate y'all taking out y'all busy day to come down and be a part of that needs assessment that's going on. A lot of vital information came out in that meeting, and a lot of information was gathered. On the exit, they told us that that this county and sheriff office and the other branches that were a part of it, they got more data to them than anybody they've ever done these assessments with. And with that being said, they're saying that instead of 90 days, they may be able to have it done in less than 60 because of how quickly the data was gathered. So circuit clerk, justice court, and all those people who were part of this, I want to thank them for putting up with us and getting the information they need, because I feel like what's going to come out of this is some questions that y'all been asking for a long time. And it ain't just a reference to the jail that's going to be answered. Matter of fact, I know it. So just want to say I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have any questions for me?
Yeah, I've got two forms here for pay rate change on one.
Oh, yeah, it's going the other way.
What do you mean? Down, decrease.
Laverius Dorsey from 1988 to 1791, $37,252. And we got another one, Brianna Anderson, new hire, pay rate $20 an hour, $41,600.
Who?
Is this on y'all?
That ain't us. No, that ain't us. The second one ain't us. So I don't know what it is.
Department 001102.
Not us.
Okay, well, I need a motion to approve,
A decrease.
the,
We'll take them deputies,
Pay rate.
if you wanna do that.
moved by Ms. Hutchins. Need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor?
I don't know who the second.
All in favor?
person
Aye. Any nays? Motion carries to decrease from 1988 to 1791. Annual rate of $37,252.80. Okay, all right, Sharon.
is. Is it? Second person got out. All right, thank you.
Do you know what this is on the? Okay, come to the table, let's go.
Public comments.
Public comments, anyone? Any public comments? Come to the table, Mr. Gray.
You still waiting on something? Yes.
He wants to go.
Hi, Mr. President, Scott, you did, thank you for the information from the Public Service Commission and trying to set up a meeting for the people, in Morgantown about the water rates being so high. Ms. Stephanie, the NAACP submitted a, form for $800. They bring the NAACP statewide convention here in November, and they asked the City of Natchez and the Adams County Board of Supervisors and I think the school district to buy a table, which they submitted a letter to us. Do we need to make a motion on that, Scott?
Under the advertisements and
So moved.
possibilities and
Oh,
whatever that you.
you did you say an amount?
800. 10 people at the table.
When will that be?
November the 7th through the 9th. Is that Friday?
Yeah, that's it.
Thursday
That's
through
it. 7 through the 9.
7th through the 9th.
And what is it?
Huh?
What is it called again? NAACP?
Statewide conference.
I'll shoot you.
Second.
All right,
They do that
motion,
on Saturday.
made, motion by Mr. Gray, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
Yeah, Mr. President, I know we kind of not up to pay with our employees where we need to be, but, you know, I noticed other counties and other places, they recognize their employees when they get 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We used to do that, didn't we? I think it'll be a good idea if we go back to recognizing our employees for 5, 10, 15, 20, or whatever years, and let them know that we do appreciate it. We living in a time where, I mean, everybody know I like basketball and especially girls basketball, and all of a sudden now, it seems like there's a lot of hate going on with the WNBA, and there's a lot of hate going on in this world, and I just don't understand how people can hate people like that and think they gonna get a pass for it. At the end of the day, The only way you drive out hate is with love. And just don't understand how people can hate people like that and say they love somebody they ain't never seen before in their life. I understand people don't like change, but sometimes you're gonna have to change. And we all was elected to kind of do what's best for the citizens of this county and this county. And we don't always think alike, and we shouldn't think alike because he made all of us different. But in my 24 years of being an elected official, it's nothing personal because I disagree with Supervisor Middleton, Supervisor Daines, or Supervisor Hutchins, or President Wilson. It's nothing personal. In my opinion, once we make a decision on something, we got to be able to move to the next issue and not let that issue divide us as a board, because at the end of the day, they put us here to do what's best for the entire county. I don't know, it's real hard, man. 'Cause I'm set up with love, and all this hate we got going on the national level, it's wiggling down to the local level, and it's getting so bad that people may think they right in their own mind, but they got to look at the consequences when you put something out there and you not right what you doing to the community if it's all about the community. And I'm just gonna tell you, I always try to do what's right, and I got blessed. And I got somebody call me on the phone, that's an attorney, and wants to take up something. When people put your name out there and land on you, you could be held accountable for that. So if they want to do that for free for me, I'm gonna allow them to do it. I just believe when somebody show you who they are, you need to believe it. And at church Sunday, Romans 8:5, the pastor say, get your mind right. The majority of us be operating out of the flesh. That's because we're human and we make mistakes, and the flesh will get you in trouble every time, but it's more than just the flesh. You need to learn about the spirit. My sympathy goes out to all those people lost their lives with the hurricane that passed, and I wish we could do something for those cities, Georgia and North Carolina. I got people in both of those areas, and thank God that everything, well, I didn't lose nobody that I know, but it was a lot of lives lost with this hurricane. And at the end of the day, God, he do what he want when he want, and he gonna send out a message. If you don't get the message, that's on you. My sympathy goes out to the Estes family, the Brown family, the Ellis family, the Brown family, the Moore family, the Taylor family, and one of our supervisors, great guy in Warren County, Mr. Banks, Supervisor Banks, lost his wife, and my sympathy goes out to him. The Turner family, the Holiday family, the Sanders family, and the Peabody family. Everybody knows Miss Peabody from tennis. I guess, I used to want to play tennis, but way back in the days, when you brought up tennis, you always brought up her name. And my sympathy goes out to the former Sheriff Mayfield, I agree with the sheriff whether you like him or not. At the end of the day, he tried to make Allen County as safe as he could. And you can't blame the man for trying to do his job. In the end, I just hope people listen to this. Because Bible say there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but in the end it's a way to death. So at the end of the day, you're gonna reap what you sow, and if you don't reap it, your seed gonna reap it. That means your kids. So that concludes my report, Mr. President. Oh, I got one more thing that I need. Maybe the accounting department or the county administrator to the balance on rent tech, the losses, and on those accounts, because I saw where we didn't have no money in the Bellwood account or whatever to clean up something, and maybe we need to put some money in there. We got to figure that out. But I need a balance on those accounts, because I know we got money coming in, and I just need a balance on it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. President, as he was talking about, Great River and the Public Service Commission are scheduled to come to our meeting at October 21st. So if you let your constituents know that are interested to be there, you know, they'll try to answer questions as to what's going on and so forth. And sir,
It's just the Public Service Commission. What about Great River?
both of them will be
Both
there.
of them. Yes, Jan, could you take care of that, man? Take care of that, sir. Thank you.
And for whatever you'll say for them, both parties reached out to us immediately as soon as their news came up that they were, so they both wanted to be here and try to explain things. I don't know if it'll help, but.
Yeah, we need a crowd back here that was here last time in Morgantown, and some of those folks out there at Tubman Circle and what have you. Okay, Ms. Hutchins.
First, I just wanted to send my sympathy out to the Mayfield family. I've been knowing the former Sheriff Mayfield for over 30 years. When I first started here, he was working over at the youth court, and we established a friendship, became, you know, very close. And then when he became sheriff, I know he used to always look out for me. He used to always come over and he used to tell me, if there's anything I could do for you, anything you need, if anybody bother you, let me know. You know, I'll take care of that. You know, he used to always say, I'll take care of that. You just let me know. So my sympathy really goes out to him. I remember when his wife died and I went out there and it took a very effect on him. And but you know, I was always there for him and he was always there for me. And I can say he always took his job. You know, he believed in safety and he always took his job very serious. So like Supervisor Gray said, he was always just trying to keep Natchez safe, you know. So I know him when he was in Metro Narcotics and all those kind of things. So my sympathy really goes out to him. And the next thing I have is we need to get travel approved, and this for all board members who want to attend FED, send out an invitation for a community stakeholder meeting with USDA. So that'll be on October the 10th.
So moved. I know we already
Do you have something on that?
No, it won't be, it's just going up to FED, Mississippi and coming back.
So
There
USDA,
was
USDA, what?
USDA.
It was an
Invitation.
invitation,
Yeah.
stakeholder.
Stakeholder meeting.
USDA stakeholder.
I'm not Scott.
coalition.
It's for the USDA.
Where's
USDA.
Yeah.
It won't be
No, it's been-
no expense. Let's go up and come back. And that's all I have.
Okay.
We had vote.
We need a motion on that.
It's been motion by me, second by him, and now we need vote.
Motion by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Miller.
Second.
You say coalition, right?
Yeah. Aye. So we need to vote.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Y'all already said. Any nays? Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Hutchins?
That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Gaines.
All right, just try to be, quick, but I always push, to communication, and we can see a whole lot of times, I think even with our little deal with Morgantown and things like that, communication is very important that we communicate a lot of things on the front end, and that way, things just flow better when everybody is included. Cause I know I feel, a lot of times I feel funny, I feel some kind of way I should be communicated something and don't get the opportunity to hear it. And so, it's just all of us. We think about communication. You hear me say it all the time. If you wanna look at a core of a problem, I bet you 99% of them is a breach in communication. Somebody, major players at the table should know, and somebody left out. So, communication is the key. I had something in mind, I know we've been tight in money, and so it's just an idea that I brought up. I thought about it, don't have to be nothing expensive. I'm coming to the end of my construction, on my little projects, on the projects that we did, but I think as a board, we have did a really good upgrade to our community all the way around in our parks. I feel like, that's from our softball, the baseball field to, Providence to, you did some of the Kingston to all of our parks. And it was just a thought in my mind, the arena, that we had some kind of small plaques that we could put on all of these things that we upgraded year so-and-so completed with each board member on it. I think that'll be because there's some parks I know haven't been upgraded in 20 years. We made some major milestones, and I know it's in the record, but I seen one time on the, somebody had one on the arena out there last time it was upgraded, and I thought about that. I said, we have made some major leaps and bounds, and it'll be just the idea that I don't know how the rest of the board feel about it. If some places like our buildings might be just a small plaque with a piece of paper, like the arena might be something weird, nothing fancy, but just something to acknowledge that. And that's just something I throw the idea out there. But I do give my sympathy out to Sheriff Chuck Mayfield. I probably got a memory of him that I never will forget. I was out at the arena riding a horse, training a horse, and the horse foot got tangled up with a steer, and it knocked me out. And I didn't know I had been out for about 10 minutes, but by the time the ambulance come, when I woke up, I was looking straight up in Chuck's face with that big cowboy hat. I ain't know where I was. And I remember that. Remember that because he's had the history of the horses. He liked to ride the horses, and most people in the area that ride horses, I know them or ran across about them because most people know that's what I do. Like to ride horses, like to rodeo, and I made a major one of my personal major accomplishments. Last weekend I went over to Alabama to the Big East. It's a roping that's been since 1965, and I got some friends over there. And I said, well, I want to go to Alabama one time, and I want to win. And I got over to Alabama and won me a big bucket, said as big as East winner of 2024, and a T-shirt. So that was one of my personal accomplishments, and I just kind of thank God for the opportunity to allow me to go and travel and go back and forth state. I know I was supposed to make the stakeholder. I had some other things, but I had a 15-hour turnaround over there, and the sheriff had texted me, but I had just got to bed, and I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't make it. I did a 15-hour turnaround drive from Saturday, when you call that Monday. I had just left out Saturday, GPS took us wrong, did a 6.5, turned into 8.5, and come back and got up that morning and went to bed at 2 o'clock, got up at 7 and rolled, and 4 o'clock back on the road, get back in, 12 o'clock the next night, and I just was, my body was tired. But, so, you know, we do things, but one thing Supervisor Gray said, we all have different minds, but I think one of the things is that we do have respect, and we have all had different things, but we do care an amount of respect for each other, and I think that's very important, and not only for us at the table, but it's very important for the decision we make. If we can't get along, you know, how does that look for the community that we lead? We definitely gonna have difference in opinions about stuff. We're not gonna see everything the same, but at some point, if we don't come together, back together behind them, you know, what are we asking? What kind of message do we send to our community? But I yield the floor, Mr. President.
As far, just a couple things, as far as Adams County Water, Southwest Electric, Energy go, it does seem like it's getting harder and harder every year to get the help we need to get things done, you know. From Morgantown Road to, you know, we have people call all the time about trees and limbs, and they basically they just wait till it falls. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, at one point they told me one tree was on an 18-month waiting list to be cut down, and it's dead as a hammer, you know. So I do think as small as Chester Willis Ball Field, getting power run to run a school board last year was like pulling teeth. And I mean, you know, it's really frustrating at times. I do want to keep Caitlin Mayfield in our prayers, Chuck's daughter, sheriff's daughter. She's now lost both her parents, which no child should have to go through at that age. I've known Chuck a long time, just like everybody else. Probably 25 years ago when I was in high school, I spent my career day with Chuck. And we did things that day that you probably couldn't do today, but we had fun. He made it very memorable. Scared me to death, but I just want to pray for him, his family, and everyone during that time of loss. Anybody who worked for him also worked with him. It's just tough for everybody. That's all I have.
Thank you. Congratulations on your deal. I'm glad to see you in one piece. I mean, Tom's okay, knocked out.
Yeah.
This horse is gonna kill you one day.
Don't say that, don't say that. I have a couple of things. We need to have the September mail report for the sheriff's office spread across the minutes, please.
All right, need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
I talked back to bookkeeping and they said that we do need to get permission from the board to get a new fund created for opioid funds, that they did not have one at this point, so permission for that.
What is that, Mary?
A new fund needs to be created for opioids. I misunderstood their email, so they said we do need to get permission to create a new fund.
Okay, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Gray, second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
The auditor has asked that we get access to some records from 2019 for Justice Court, and the bank is telling me that I need permission from the board to get those records for the auditor.
Okay, need a motion to get these bank records for the auditor.
Second, what kind of
Moved by
records?
Mr. Middleton.
Bank
records.
Oh, okay.
Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
We also need to create a new fund for the election support funds that we received from the state every year. That was something that the auditor suggested that we needed to do.
Okay, need a motion to start a new fund for election.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, seconded by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
Is that stuff that we use already for a budget?
I would presume, yeah.
They don't want it in General County.
But I mean, it's transferred there and there anyway. When you spend it.
Yeah. That's something that citizens that we need to do. permission to travel to my fall conference. It's November 19th and 20th in Ridgeland, Mississippi, please.
Moved by Mr. Gray, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
And I think that's all right, thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
before you move on, I was walking through the courthouse the other day, and I think, I don't know if it's gonna affect one of y'all. Did they call to let you know that some of those voting machines got wet or whatever the case may be?
Did they test them?
I think a pipe or something broke down in the basement and water went everywhere. I think they took them out and dried them off and tested them. I guess they were.
Well, they're either gonna have to tarp them, if they're gonna keep them there, we're gonna find another location. for them.
That's the same thing I told them.
Yeah. All right. Was that all, Ms.
That's all I have, thank you.
Mr. Slover?
But they work.
We have insurance on that?
Not sure. I would assume.
Should. On everything else.
The EWPs for several sites were handed in to me or from George. I need permission to do the research and obtain the right of ways for them.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines.
Second.
Second on Mr. Gray for the EWPs.
Which ones?
Discussion.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna ask, I should have pulled.
How many is it?
Churchill, Brooklyn, and Lofton.
Thank you.
Churchill, Brooklyn, and
And
Laughlin. Any more discussion?
Is Mr. President, Lofton's off Grafton, right?
Lofton's off
Okay.
Grafton,
Okay.
Brooklyn. and then
Okay, all in favor?
Churchill Road.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And
Mr. President, before you move on, Lofton,
I mean, you want to get off off MLK.
is they gonna have enough money to,
I talked to Mr. Ford the other day and told him, you know, that he needed to really look at that. You know, we talked about it the other day. That's a pretty good job.
I mean, it started off as a small project and now the whole big, twice as big as this room. So, are we gonna need some more money? Or are they gonna try to fit the money they got to make it work in this big old hole? I think if they need some more money, they need to ask.
I need to check. I think that was one of that 100%. If I'm not sure, tied into
Sheriff?
tied into them rolling forward. If I'm not mistaken, Ricky.
Yeah.
Not mistaken. 'Cause I think I would read it the
Thank
same way, because I
Okay.
discussed it with him too about it.
Okay.
I've got a payout for the Bellwood Levy site. The county will be responsible for 60%, which is out of our Bellwood fund from the state bond, and then the losses will be responsible for 40%. That's for $683,987.65.
600 what?
Need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines.
Second.
Second by Mr.
Can we get that
Gray.
number again, sir?
How much it was?
683,000 and,
$987.65. And our portion's $410,392.59.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
We need to do a budget for the IP cleanup site. So it's just something we gotta get done, because the bills are already coming up due. So before next meeting, get it approved.
what you want? What you asking for?
I'm just telling the board, we gotta get an IP budget, we gotta get a budget for IP, the cleanup for it set up. We have a grant where we have some matching funds that we approved with American Recovery Act money, and the state's gonna match those. And then I think there's actually more money coming from the state, so, and bills are coming due on it, we just need a budget to
So what you need us
pay
to do?
that.
Set up a fund.
Nothing we can do now, because we gotta build a budget for it, I was just reminding
trying to get a budget
board and
and have it
that
prepared before.
draw the board on that before the next,
Nothing.
So we need to,
next meeting.
we need to, we can get all those done.
Okay.
And just a reminder about the justice court judge and the election commissioner, we gotta fill those vacancies, statute says.
I got that, the election commissioner.
You got that?
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and say I'm gonna, make a motion to, nominate Stephanie Anderson, for election commissioner District 2. Stephanie Anderson.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion by myself and second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
Well, I want to make a motion to nominate Shamika Collins for the judge.
That's a motion.
Second.
He wants to nominate Shamika Collins for judge.
Yes, sir.
And there's a second.
That's it.
Mr. Gaines, second. Any discussion?
I thought we were gonna interview for them.
We have interviewed.
Well, it's a 15 month.
I have a real problem with that nominee. She was elected district attorney, and failed miserably, did not do her job at all. And I don't know why she would do any better job at this one. There's a lot of money comes through that courtroom. I know, somebody said before, oh, there's not. There's a lot of money comes through justice court. And if that's not handled correctly, it causes a big problem for us. There was actually a case pending on judicial review. Yes, go ahead.
I understand your concerns, and if I didn't think she could do the job, I wouldn't even entertain a motion for the, put her in a position. A lot of people have their opinions on what kind of DA she was, or whatever the case may be, but that don't have nothing to do with being a judge. She done held positions with the city, with everybody else. And I just feel like at this particular time, until the voters can vote on who they want, this is the best candidate for the job.
Being that you went kind of out of turn on that, I think there was a lot of people that would like to suggest somebody. Well, he just mentioned that it needed to be done.
How I went out of turn when you made a motion, and then I just made a motion on the other.
I'm just saying that there's probably some other people in this room would like to suggest some other people.
It was a motion and a second. If it don't pass, then vote it down.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We're gonna do a roll, we're gonna have to do this by call. Ricky is an aye. Ms. Hutchins? Mr. Gaines?
Nay.
And I'm a nay. No, you got anything else, Mr. Slover?
You'll then get sworn in, so, I mean, I know both of them, I could reach out to them if you want me to.
Okay.
And that, I believe, concludes my report.
No.
No, okay. Sure.
You got something?
Do I have something else? I think we did this last time, didn't we? This goes with the budget for, did you do this in the other budget? Okay. There's a budget amendment for the Bellwood levy that we need to do, that Stephanie's built. So any motion to approve all that. This is not money coming out of our Apple or whatever, it's money coming from grants.
Okay, got a motion. Bellwood levy. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries. Is that all you had, Scott? Okay, Ms. Boyd.
I had a, Natchez County Chamber of Commerce invoice for 2,000 that I wanted to get approved for. It will be one of the annual appropriations, but I need, it's for this due in November.
Project Gala.
And it's for how much?
$2,000.
Wait, who that's for?
The chamber.
Oh, that's a chamber.
Yeah. That's what we always pay. It's appropriation and.
We have to budget to get it.
Okay.
All right, a motion.
So, you made that motion? So,
Moved by Ms. Hutchins.
I made,
you made it?
you said.
Okay.
Motion by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I had a, budget amendment from the sheriff's department to cover the previously discussed 030, narcotics, forfeited assets, and we're trying to purchase the, inventory item for 920 for $97,275.61.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gray,
Second.
second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion?
Yeah, what's the inventory item?
For the
What was-
emergency, the one that he.
Okay, just did, okay.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
The last one is, permission for registration and travel for the fall conference. I was left out of it. I didn't get a chance to.
But I think I did call for it now, the ones that attend anyway, well, you're included. Oh, your registration, okay.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gray,
Second.
second by Ms. Hutchins. Any
And what is this
discussion?
for again? Registration for what?
The Mississippi Association Fall Conference, registration and travel. I mean, registration.
Mr. Gray and Ms. Hutchins. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries.
That's it for me.
That's it? Okay, I got a whole list of things here. We need a motion for Giselle Davis, the county constable. Reimbursement, so you don't need a okay. Please. This is a reimbursement thing. Need a okay. All right, Stanley Searching, same thing. Okay. I got a letter from, Circuit Court of Adams County. Deborah Blackwell, appointing a Nolan Cabin as acting bailiff for the, Circuit Court, at $100 a day as needed. Signed by Deborah Blackwell. Do I need to spread that across the minutes, Scott?
What's that now?
Mr. Baylor.
Bailiff. The letter from Deborah Blackwell.
Is it a court order or is it just?
Court order, just,
Is that a new?
Well, I think it has to be across the minutes.
so it has to be approved or not, so what they gonna pay for?
That's what I'm saying, because it's gonna be paid.
They don't need to be doing any of them. We need to talk about it. But you can note that this has been ordered to us. We can.
Is that-
Oh, that's the order?
That's an order.
Yes.
So moved.
Second, when it's an order,
Okay.
nothing we can do.
Any discussion? Where did you get that
Scott, let's get it. Discussion.
letter across the board? Who?
I made a
Ricky
motion.
and,
So I just, a discussion, Scott. So, Stephanie, are we gonna be responsible for paying the bill, but do they have the money to pay them? Where the money gonna come from with the court order? So is it in their budget to pay somebody an extra $100 to do? I mean,
Only way we can do it, we can
It's not
kill it.
budgeted.
huh?
It's not budgeted.
Do they have money in their budget?
Did the sheriff, is that a personal bail, or is that, do the sheriff, did you provide, you don't provide no bail for the courts at all?
Pick their own person.
By law, according to Scott, I supposed to, but the way Adams County has done it,
They pick
it's
their own
always
bail.
run through the judges, so
Okay.
that's what I believe Scott wants to discuss, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
it's, the judge can, in their discretion, can order it, allow the sheriff writing bailiffs to serve in respective courts,
I ain't never had this.
not to exceed 4 bailiffs.
Yeah.
So this,
And then she
have
can pay the max.
they always had a bail, or this the first one that we?
They always had it.
Okay.
Yeah. I just ain't never.
They just didn't come to his office.
They should, yeah, I know. He would still have it. He would get something to look at.
Okay. Did we ever, vote on that?
No.
Yeah, we through the discussion?
That's all I want.
All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries. We voted on that, motion carried for the judge's letter. Yeah. Everybody knows Gerald Smith's retiring. Mr. Bradford said he's gonna take over the job until we hire somebody, or I don't know if we need to hire somebody.
It don't work like that.
But,
That ain't his resume,
no, this is Bradford saying he would.
Yeah, yeah.
But, we gotta decide whether we're gonna need that, or if it's a part-time job or something.
Well, we waiting on his resignation too.
Yeah, okay, well, it's out there, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
We're just going through this stuff. All right.
President.
Yes, this what she.
While y'all consider on Darryl, I need y'all to keep in mind one other thing. Darryl Smith is also the fire investigator for the county. You know, he works at the county, he coordinates the fire department. But he's also employed by the sheriff's office as a fire investigator. So if y'all talk about this, don't forget that part, that's very
Well,
essential.
does the city have a fire investigator?
Yeah.
I just
The
got
city has one and the county has one, and he's ours. So, I just want y'all to keep that in mind before y'all go hire somebody to do something,
He needs
please
to be certified.
He needs to be a firefighter.
do. Need your firefighter.
Yeah.
Go be the investigator.
We ever figure out who this is?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's
He
it.
work, he wear dual hats.
Okay, I got a request for, Vernon to take off, or, it doesn't say if it was a day or what, for, an appointment. This is on 10/2, another one on 10/3, one on 10/28. And another one on 11/8.
Hey, Scott,
Sir,
listen to what the president's saying about approving something that's already done passed.
Vernon had an appointment on, let's see, 10/2, the date of the request is 9/17. Did we not approve this last time? I don't remember. Well, 9/17, when was the last, board meeting?
is it personal?
16 on the third, we had one on the third.
What is the date on it?
It's 10/2.
If it's sick leave, or is it?
It was an appointment.
Let's see.
Yeah, sick leave, you
She
don't
don't
have to
have to
get
get
prior.
that, yeah. She don't
Okay.
have to.
Appointment on 10/3.
I mean, I say that, if you know you're gonna be absent, you get
Yeah.
prior approval, but if you have something, go to the doctor, obviously, you can't.
10/28, she has, an appointment, I believe, and on, 11/1, she has an appointment. And then it's another one for 9/11.
You don't have to do it.
I mean, 10/11.
Because at 6, you don't have to.
I think that's the last one. All of their appointments. I need a motion to approve these.
Approve it. You don't have to approve the.
Don't have to approve, I just need to sign.
But you can approve the first one.
Okay.
But it's not a violation that it wasn't approved because it was a doctor's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign here.
Thought you already had signed.
Scott and Stephanie, have y'all, I've got this proposal from Justice Court. We said we could approve the three or four of them, but not the ones that already happened?
Yeah,
Okay, I need a
it doesn't
motion
have
to
be
approve.
approved, and we don't need to approve it because it's after the fact.
Okay, need approval on the other, four then, the coming up appointments.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
President, did you already sign anything?
No, go ahead and just sign this then.
What is this?
These are some that we did before,
Oh,
maybe they weren't.
okay.
I need, if y'all got this from, Justice Court, concerning digitizing, their records, I don't know,
We talked about that before, did we talk about that before?
Yes.
Y'all look at that.
Part of the things to kind of look at are out of space for the records and so forth. So instead of getting more space or whatever, and the other thing too is we did budget to get rid of your payments to the Harold Miller building, get that out of off our book, so to speak. So getting those records and getting them scanned in, getting a quote for that.
Probably need to get more than one.
Oh yeah, this is not for board activity at all, it just was an FYI. Verna needs to talk with Stephanie when she got back into town and come up with, see if that's a plan, that's a feasible plan where we can digitize some records, go paperless, save some costs in other places. You won't have to have folders anymore and paper and all that, so it may end up paying for itself on top of the time not to do it. But no, it's not for board. It's just an FYI for now.
Okay, now let everybody know that we're talking about digitizing the, Justice Court papers. Okay, Scott, where are we at on the, I thought the trash people were gonna be here.
They've reached out to me and they're supposed to be set the date where they'll come and talk and all that. And I think I sent the email out to all y'all, what the response was.
Okay. Yes.
Let me ask you a question. With the IT guy, trying to set up something where they can be held accountable.
So
we can't do that?
Well, Ricky, you actually
I'm just asking a question.
You suggested this last meeting, and I thought it was a good idea, that the board members can tell your constituents, here's on our website, you report missed pickup. It immediately notifies the garbage company, telling them there's a missed pickup at this address. The garbage company can respond to it saying, no, we didn't miss, here's where we went that route. Or they then have the 24 hours to go pick it up, and if they don't, we can then automatically deduct it from our bills. And so it's just a quote to automate it and give y'all something to say, you missed a pickup, this is what you need to fill this out, and it keeps a record of it all and everything like that. And that was, again, Ricky, that was your idea the last time we were here, and he's just getting a quote for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did, anybody come up with a solution as how we're gonna count the houses? Because we could be throwing away $30,000 a month on houses that are vacant.
Yeah.
That we're paying them to pick up, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, we are entitled to a house count, as are they, if they wanted to. We've requested a house count, but y'all need to, what do you feel comfortable doing a house count? We could do it, what's been done in the past is someone sits in a truck and they have a clicker and you have a clicker and you go by on a house round and count. So that's what's been done.
Mr. President, let me ask a question. Where did they get their number from? Or they just transferred that number from?
They just transferred that number from our previous house.
So that number been the same for years?
It's been the same since we did the last house count. When we first.
And when was that?
Probably in 18 when we did the last house count.
18?
Probably.
I don't remember that.
Well, Joe sat on the truck and
Joe
Went back and did a house count.
did the house count.
Yeah.
Okay, Sheriff, what kind of, what you got?
I was gonna tell y'all, E911, Connie down there, she rides those roads every day for Google and all these mapping companies. Y'all might wanna talk to, Mr. Bradford, cause they have accurate numbers on there, cause they have to for E911. That might make the county's life a lot easier.
She got a laptop in her vehicle.
She does.
She goes by.
She goes by every house.
Yeah, would she know which ones are now vacant, maybe that, or maybe on the 911, but they're not, there's nobody there?
We want as low as possible.
I'm telling you, they go a lot because they have utilities, they have all the utilities online, or they have all that information on what's connected where, so I would start there if it was me.
Yeah, and that's a great idea because that's what I was just saying, utilities, because
Everything.
everybody have to come through them anyway with the utility things. So my thing is, she would know what all utilities are on, so she would have a count.
And if you need to connect her with your lady that does all the tax rolls, you might have a winning combination. And what's her name? What's the lady name that works for her?
Peggy.
Peggy.
Well, yeah, we can talk about with them, it's a good route to go on, again.
Yeah, we
We want
gotta
numbers,
get
we
that,
don't want to be high.
I think the number's way off.
They are, because we have a lot of daily comments.
Okay, all right, I think everything's pretty much been covered that I had. You got something else? This garbage truck, it's not a new garbage truck, they brought one in, but they're hanging on the mirrors, which are not safe at all. Somebody's gonna land in the road, while they're running a dumpster down the road and throwing trash bags in front of it. It's just, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's those pictures? Did you garbage truck?
Well, it's what God do.
Go down the road sidewalk.
I never saw it.
I got behind this other
You have an extra picture of that illegal dump site, Ronnie?
I don't have it yet.
Maybe it's, never mind. Where was it?
Say,
Sedgefield, and the tree removal.
But I got tax.
Where did that come from? Stuff like candy? We need to get a motion for those.
Stephanie was already included. Is comptroller included on the last conference too?
And was comptroller included on the MAS, fall?
Yeah,
trial?
yeah.
So she got, did she get approved for that in her report?
What's that now? Stephanie, did you get, are you included on the,
Who did the
MAS?
approval for the MAS fall conference? Did anybody
Hey,
do that in their
who
report?
did the,
Did anybody do this in their report for the fall
MAS?
conference?
You did it,
I
didn't you?
asked-
I don't even know if it's been brought up yet. It has not been brought up yet.
So
Yeah, it has not. No, it
Yeah,
has been. Okay, yeah, well, I did it. I did
it
it.
wasn't in your report today.
No, it was not, but I'm talking in the past.
So you did it previously.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do anything else?
Challenges, is yours executive session?
No, I just came to listen. I can update you.
Glad to see you here. You got a report? Got anything for us?
Bill put up for everything in the world.
Just the,
All right, I'll just say this, Chuck Mayfield was a friend of mine as well, and the guy stopped me all the time after he became sheriff, and he still had that big cigar in his mouth. Sometimes he said he was a sheriff, but he was a mess, but I liked the guy. He was a friend of mine, so I was like, man, he was something else. That concludes my report as well. We've got, how many closed determinations?
Yes.
Do we need, how many items?
Three.
Three, okay. Need a
Motion
motion.
to close the termination, I make a motion.
By Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. All in favor? Closed determination.